Please, everybody, sit down. Wow, the clapping was immense, crap.
Yeah, they always loved. They always love us.
Yeah,
man.
man.
Like you a little bit. I don't know. Like I had that song memorized. But it's like I don't know. Something happened.
That's all right. Good morning, gamers. I got news for you. That's like crap. I had to tell everyone in the house to calm down. Kids, please sit down. Everybody sit down. I know.
They're excited.
Take it easy. Everyone in the audience. I got people in the neighborhood at the window. Everybody relax. No, hey, listen, what a great morning this has been. I've been looking forward to today's show more than even most, crap, to be honest with you. There's just so much stuff going on. We only skim the surface on Friday's Crossfire. And well, let's start today off a little bit slow and relaxed. You just got home from work. How's your weekend been, buddy? It's
been pretty good, man. Like, what's funny is I like using Sony is like the gift that keeps on giving, right? Sort of like the Jelly of the Month Club. So right. They said something that's funny that I've been using in my day-to-day life, which is when they were talking about PlayStation VR, they say it's on track. So now I'm using that for everything. Like, hey, how's that doing? How's your diet doing? It's on track.
It's on track.
Yeah, it's on track. How's business going? It's on track. You know what I mean? That way, like, people don't even question it. And I love it. It's going great. You know what I mean?
I think the it's on track is the new it is what it is, right?
Yeah, exactly. It is.
Yeah, that's great. I love when that came into, when that first came into play, I want to say it is what it is, that slogan that people use almost every time with everything. I'll never forget. I had a contractor over at the house. He was working on something, and he goes, oh, geez. He's like, you're going to need an extra line run this way. And I'm like, huh. And he's up on the ladder, right? I'm at the bottom of the ladder, and I go, well, how much do you think that's actually going to run me? And he stops. He puts his tool down. He looks down, and he goes, it is what it is. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? What his point was, it's going to cost whatever it's going to cost. But what he didn't realize is if he said it was a number I didn't like, I would just say, don't do it.
Yeah.
So it's not what it is. But anyways, I'm getting a little too, as Bam Bam would say, getting a little too lit for a Sunday morning.
He's a funny dude too. Like that was, he did pretty good on Crossfire.
I was
impressed. Yeah.
He wrote me after, and he goes, "I know you and Crap are the stars that you guys are always the ones talking. But he goes, I hope I filled in and I wasn't too." I said, "No, Bam, you knocked it out of the park for a rookie coming out from the audience right to the show. He did a great job. He'll definitely be on again for sure."
Yeah, he did a hell of a job. He made the rounds too because he was on console corner and.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to we'll get him on Xbox Nation when we get a chance. Definitely.
Hell yeah, dude. I mean, he's a cool dude. That's one of those things where we met him through the everyday kind of gaming situations with
Community Game Night.
Community Game Night, which
where is
Community Game Night?
Hey. Yeah, every week I'm writing crap. I'm like, I don't see anything. What's going on with Community Game Night? So I know we got She-Wolf and GKB in the audience. I saw She-Wolf earlier. Maybe she'll call in and give us an
update on that.
We'll get an update or something. I know Fox has been taking it over. Fox did Battlefield 1 last night, which is a nice way of just sidestepping the mooch.
Yeah.
Listen, me and Jay Williams were Jay Dubs to those who.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So me and Jay Dubs were talking before the show. And we were saying that, Jay bought the game. Okay. I just played it on EA Access, and the game's chaotic. It's a nightmare, to be honest with you. And this is coming right. I got 30 something years of gaming in me, bro. It's a nightmare. And, Jay goes, it's just chaotic. And I go, yeah, it makes Call of Duty look neat and organized. It's just, I don't know what it is. Jay, step in here from, everyone knows my point of view. What is coming from your side? What did you feel? What is it that Battlefield just misses on?
Maybe it's because I didn't play a lot of the other games, but I just find it, like you said, chaotic. You get thrown into a map. You basically pick, you randomly pick a side that you think you're going to live on, and then you shoot down, and then you're running. There's explosions around you. There's planes shooting you from the sky. You're trying to find a bunker, but unfortunately there's a guy there with a flamethrower blasting your ass as soon as you get there.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. And it's because I don't play a lot of these types of games that I just wasn't having a lot of fun. Like even the night I was playing with Crap, I even said to him, I said, this isn't for me. It just really isn't for me.
Yeah, the thing is, I was playing a few Saturdays ago. I played with Jez from Windows Central and Xbox Pope, Tom. Shout out to both of them. And we were playing, and I kept I would respawn right next to Jez and pop, dead. Respawn next to Jez, pop, dead. I'm like, there's nobody around. I'm like, who's killing me? finally, Xbox Pope turns around. He says to me, he's like, Mooch, look, do you see that building far away? I'm like, that potato chip crumb way out in the distance? He's like, yeah. He goes, there's a sniper in the top left window. I go, what the fuck monocle are you wearing? How do you see this?
You can see the glint.
That's what he said. He goes, there's a little glare. There's a little like this. And I go, what the hell's wrong with you Battlefield people? Who the hell's got time for this? And then out of nowhere, a fucking tank runs over me. So listen, I don't look. It's great.
That was so Jerry Seinfeld of you right there, Mooch.
Well, listen, Jerry, everybody has a core, right? Their core. I grew up in the 90s. I think I've seen every Seinfeld episode like 80 times. So I take that as a huge compliment, to be honest with you. But it is, a lot of my humor is from Jerry. But, to be honest with you, I don't know. People want to dedicate their entire lives to Battlefield. And listen, you know what I say to that? Awesome. That's great. And I think it truly is. It's a cult. Okay, it's a cult following, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but it's not for me. And the first thing J-Dub said to me this morning is, "It's not for me." And I said, "Wow!" I said, "That's just how I feel." Now, crap, you're kind of, and I'll use a Battlefield term here. You're kind of in no man's land on this, right? You're in the middle.
I like it. Yeah, I like the game.
Right.
I like it with. I found out kind of late that Fox was running it, and I was tired and I had to get up early. And so I was like, yeah, I guess I'll just skip it this week. So even though I kind of wanted to play it, because that basically the only way you can play Battlefield 1 is with a team and with a group of that, then it's fun, right? Even though you're getting your ass handed to you a lot and run over by tanks and all kinds of stuff, it's still kind of fun because you're just with your friends or whatever. So that's cool. But for me, the Battlefield 1 has turned into like the last game that I play, and you called that, but I figured that was going to be how it was going to be. Like, I think that probably next year sometime, a lot of my friends will probably be on it, and then I'll get a little more use out of it. But I wanted to review it and play the campaign and have some fun on it. So that's why I bought it. You know what I mean? I got a good deal. I think I ended up, also I had a lot of credit. I think I only ended up paying like $25 for it because I had like credit on Xbox Live, and with EA Access discount, it was like, it was stupid. It would have been stupid not to get it. So yeah, like I'm having a good time with that. But first and foremost for me is always like Gears or Call of Duty 4. You know what I mean? I'm enjoying those immensely. Even Titanfall 2, the multiplayer, I'm enjoying that as well, although it's kind of lonely out there. But for the most part, I think that it's a damn good game. But Battlefield, yeah, that's a good game, but just a little bit too, I don't know, it can be overbearing sometimes, man. Too hectic. Sometimes you're just in the mood to kind of relax or whatever. And, for me, Call of Duty is a little bit easier. I can drop, especially Call of Duty 4 Remaster, I can still drop, 40, 50 kills a map on that.
Well, it's fun, and I'm glad you just said what you said, Crap, because it just reinforces what we were talking about on Xbox Nation on Wednesday night, which was a great show, by the way. And I'll tell you, it was what I was speaking to was, here we are 3 weeks, and I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, 3 weeks after the Battlefield 1 release. And we're done talking about the campaign. Like nobody cares. Nobody's like, that's why we're sitting here and we spent so much time the past month and a half, and I'm guilty of it too. But we spent so much time talking about Titanfall's campaign and Battlefield's campaign, and now the past week we're talking about Call of Duty's campaign. These are multiplayer games. There's people in the chat right now being like, "Oh my God, I was just doing this and that and blah blah blah." That one story in the chat right now is about the campaign. So when people, there is a population of people that buy these for campaign, but I think it's a minute group. And like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
it's like Rand Outdoor.
Well, Rand's vocal. Rand's just vocal about it, but Rand's right. I mean, listen, there's a lot of people that do that. But when you're looking at the masses, when you're talking about, I think Jez said 16, it's estimated that 16 million copies of Battlefield 1 will be sold. That's huge. And I mean, a 16 million, I bet you we could line up all 16 million, and I bet you there's about 1 million that would say they bought it for the campaign, maybe 2.
Yeah,
I don't know, but still, out of that, out of the threshold, it's not a lot. And I mean, but don't get me wrong. My point being with a lot of these games is it's the multiplayer that has to really hit home for the success of a game. And Battlefield 1's campaign, multiplayer, it works. It's oh wow, that was early. Either that or I struck a nerve early.
It's probably a little bit of both.
Somebody's gonna be eating a cannoli right now, yelling at me. What do we got?
M&C Mornings, how you doing?
I missed that.
I know.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Jeff here, aka the Homeless Gamer, aka Trunks305, INKC on Xbox. Just want to play with you guys 1 or 2 times. And I just wanted to say I'm a little pissed off because all I hear people is talking shit about how people who listen to you guys are nothing but fucking sheep, and I disagree with that. I think that, you know, you're a new news outlet, basically. The reports on the fucking truth, and I'm tired of fucking hearing it. But my other question is why do you think the E3s Sony's have done have always showed games that are always out within 3 to 5 years of a development cycle instead of bringing something out every year like Microsoft does with their E3? If I could hear your comments on that, that'd be great. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Hey, Jeff, thanks for the call. Let me tell you something. Let me answer the question first, because that was a great question. The reason they do it is the same reason. We're all people, okay? We all do the same thing at work. I don't care where you work. I don't care if you work in the top of a skyscraper or if you're just somebody who fills up air and tires. Hear me out. When your boss walks up to you and you haven't done your job, or you're not prepared, or you're too broke to do whatever you have to do in the future, what do? You push it off. We've been doing it since we were kids. You did it with your homework, you did it with everything else. So what Sony does is they're showing games 3-4 years out. Now, what that results in is either they're going to come to fruition and you'll get all those games, or somebody 3 years from now will be like, do you remember a game with a floating cross and the guy from Walking Dead in it? Oh, yeah, I kind of remember that little cinema movie that they showed that Kojima put together. But who knows whatever happened to it. Point being is they push it off. They're not committed. They don't have to commit, right, crap? I mean, when a game is told to you 4 years, it's coming out 4 years from now, how much can you really hold a company to it 3.5 years from now? Be like, I haven't seen anything since that one snippet from E3 2016. Nobody remembers. Nobody cares. So my answer to you, Jeff, is that they're doing that because this way they're showing you quote unquote games, but they're not games that they're liable for. Like Microsoft showed you Sea of Thieves. Microsoft showed you Scalebound gameplay. Like if next year comes and goes and those games don't come out, people are like, where's the game you showed us? See, Sony showed you concept after concept. So if nothing comes out, they'll be like, "Oh, it was just a concept, man. Take it easy, all right?
Yeah.
We're creative geniuses over here. Relax, you know." So you have to understand that that's the whole thing. She Wolf in the chat, it's hysterical. She Wolf, by the way, She Wolf wrote something up above that said something about those campaigns are fantastic. So are Moochisms, but we forget them after a few weeks. Well, you know, listen, it's you know, I mean, in all honesty, it's that's my take on Sony's 3-year plan. What do you think, Crab?
Well, I'll get to that in a second. He was like, "Oh, well, people say whoever watch us or whatever is sheep." Here's the thing, right? You have to consider the source of the person or the people that are saying that, right? Yeah. Like, for one thing, I would never get on here and tell people, don't go watch this person on YouTube, because that's not really my place. You know what I mean? Like, people can watch what they want and enjoy what they want. And I think it would be insecure of me to tell people not to go watch something or whatever, even if I disagree with it. Okay. Second of all, a lot of people don't like that we happen to have a larger voice in the community, although we've never said that we speak for anybody aside from ourselves. You know, we actually happen to share a common voice, and we were able to get it out there from people. So a lot of people don't like that or don't agree with our approach or whatever, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's just we're having fun talking about something we love, which is gaming. And, you know, people seem to really enjoy that. We're doing something that I don't see anybody else doing, which is a call-in show where we really base how the show goes off of people asking us questions and calling in and stuff like that. So that's something that's not really done before. And I think there's probably some jealousy involved with that, which, you know, that's to be expected. As for Sony, I believe that they titled their E3 this year Dreams 2 or something like that, right? Which basically they want to get that quote unquote win, right, from the media and from gamers to be like, oh man, Sony really won that. And I'm sitting there looking at the pre-orders that I have from the stuff shown at E3, and I got a big boatload full of Microsoft side, and I have 0 on Sony side, and I'm thinking, what the hell did Sony win? You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. You know, to me, Sony likes to do that because they like to look good rather than actually be good. So
absolutely,
keep it short and sweet. M&C mornings.
No, great answer, Crap, and good questions, Jeff.
Yes, great question.
Hey, Mooch Crab, what's up, y'all? This is Dirk Griggity calling another week.
Diggity.
Every week. Big fan of you guys. I'm Dirk Griggity on Twitter. Dirk Griggity 76 on Xbox Live. if you ever see me have one of y'all parties or something. Well, anyway, first thing first, man, I just wanted to say I appreciate everything that you guys do. And I also appreciate when you talk shit about Sony. It really makes me happy because we had to deal with it for 3 years. Right? People talking shit about us, Xbox fans. And I remember it was a couple weeks ago. South was on one of you guys' podcasts. He said, I don't want to stop talking about Sony. Man, that kind of pissed me off, man. I wish I'd have threw his ass off the show that day because I want to hear you guys talk about Sony. You know, because people act like they're so perfect. And listen, man, times have changed and they are fucking up big time, man. I mean, I'm starting to hear some of these Sony guys say that the Scorpio is going to be the same as the Pro. I saw Crap video yesterday, and you know, Crap, you hit the nail right on the head, man. Don't do this, Microsoft. And I really feel deep down inside Microsoft is not. They're learning from all of Sony mistakes. They are learning from all of this crap that's going on right now. They have a year to get all this stuff ready. They're already developing games for it, man. It's going to be a wrap, man. So that's it, guys. Keep on doing what you're doing. Peace out.
Yo, good call by Diggity, man.
Diggity. He's like, I'm loving the call-ins every week, and he's right. Like, if you didn't see it, Mooch, I did a video saying that the Xbox Scorpio cannot do what the PS4 Pro did, and that's come out and not perform these games as well as the base model. You know what I mean? They cannot do that. So I know for a fact, even though people won't believe it, we both know that people from Microsoft watch our channels. And, you know, hopefully that's just a little bit, you cannot do that. Like, we can't come out next year and with Scorpio and go, well, you know, we got this game, Gears 4 in 4K now, but it plays better on the original Xbox One. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that.
Right.
Like, they have to have this thing together, and they are, like Diggity's right. You learn, like, this is what Microsoft is doing that's so brilliant right now is they're able to react off of Sony right now. Yes. Sony has nobody to react off of, and they're just they remind me right now of a chicken with its head cut off, just all over the damn place. Seriously, like, if they aren't hitting the panic button, they will after they lose November NPD. And I guarantee it.
Look, I'm gonna, you know me, Crap. I try to refrain from it, and I always mention this ahead of time. I don't like using the words "I called it." You know, who gives a shit if I called it or not? But I told you these pros they're just gonna sit there. They're lost in no man's land. I've been saying it for many, almost 2 months now. The point of the matter is that it's giving you even less than we thought it was going to give us. We thought you were at least going to walk away and start to see this higher quality game. You're not getting much more out of this, and now we're finding out that the frames
not even
per
a
second,
little mo.
You're not getting a little more. And who would have known? Yeah, right. You know, and it was funny because I can't wait. Like, I'm really looking forward to BGST tonight because I want to have a conversation with Z about this. He's made some great videos, and Z said, "Look," he goes, "I don't feel so bad. I got $200 for my old PS4, so I only put $200 out of pocket. But I want to sit there and say to Z, I want to say, Z, but you put $200 out of pocket, and now the same games that you own are playing worse." So I don't understand. I think my recommendation to people right now, if you don't have a PS4 and you want one, is go buy a refurbished PS4 vanilla. Try to get a later model,
but not a slim. Don't get a slim.
No, not a slim. No, a refurbished PS4 vanilla.
Yeah,
because you can probably get it for $180, $170 at your local GameStop, and you're going to get a better. Look at The Last of Us, Uncharted. This is why you have this console, right? And those games play better on the vanilla. Yep. So there's something to be said for that crap. And I actually feel bad having this conversation with you because you have a Pro.
I know.
And do you still have the vanilla?
Yeah, I do. I mean, okay, I could sell it or I could give it away.
No.
You know what I mean? I'll probably just,
sell the Pro. It's not giving you anything. You're getting less.
Yeah. My hope is like, I know, here's the thing. Like, I'm hoping that next year will give us a couple of good games that maybe work. Like maybe a game that they were working on this thing specifically, like Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm hoping that it has
That's possible, Crap. But let's just do math here. Let's just do some math. You're talking about, and you made a joke of it yourself on your video, the remaster.
Yeah,
they can't even get a PS3 game to run at 60 frames. I mean, how is a new game going to run better? It's bottlenecked by that CPU. You said it yourself. I'll give you credit. You said that a long time. I mean, there's no magic you can pull. We've learned this over this generation, right? There's no secret sauce. There's no this. There's no that. It is what it is. The specs are on the back of the label on the box. These parts that Sony bought are on the shelf, people. They didn't make them in their studios. They didn't make them in their labs. These components are bought off the shelf. There's nothing magical that's going to come out of this thing. So, I say to Crap, when Crap said he was going to get this thing, I said, Crap, please return it. I begged him.
He's like, return it. Return it.
Please return.
I was like, dude, like when you get a box, I don't know, there's something about it.
And don't get me wrong, that's the kid in us. There's a little kid in everybody. I get that, man.
Trust me, I got some hate for it, man. I got some Xbox dudes are like, dude, what are you doing? You're always like, Xbox. I'm like, dude, I got Xboxes out the ass. You know what I mean? Come on, you know what I mean? I'm a gamer. Like, people are surprised that I'm a gamer. They don't understand our stance, and this is what Jeff was saying. This is why we do what we do, because we give a shit. It's not that we don't hate Sony for the sake of hating Sony. We hate Sony for their smoke and mirrors, their lies and deception. That's true. MNC Mornings, what's up? How you doing? Yeah.
Pull up the Craps window, please.
Howdy.
Exact change only.
Okay.
There we go.
It's so great when people are like, what? Now?
Oh. Oh.
Hi, Xbox family. This is Macintosh. Full of 18 in the chat. I have 2 questions for you guys. First one, what is your expectations for Game Awards? And second, Phil Spencer is trying to make a great portfolio of games with different genres. Which games do we need more to fill his task? Thank you guys, and have a great Sunday.
Sprechen Sie English?
Nice. That was awesome. Macintosh is awesome, by the way. If that's
I know.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He is. He's in Russia, so he speaks pretty good English.
Very good, because I got news for you. If he asked me to just say 3 words in Russian, I fail.
Yeah. He asked about. Go ahead. I mean,
well, the Game Awards. He said, "What's our expectations of the Game Awards?" Let's answer that with a laugh track. To be honest with you, I would say probably not good. Not good at all. Because what I think you're all going to see at the Game Awards is a 3-hour montage to Uncharted 4. We're probably going to see. I don't know if you guys ever saw the VGAs, the video game. Oh, no, it wasn't the video game awards. Pardon me. The video, whatever it is that MTV puts out when Lady Gaga got carried in with like 4 people carrying her like on like a statuette like kind of thing. You're going to see that with Druckmann. Neil Druckmann's going to be carried in by Jeff Keighley and maybe even a few others in the business. It's going to be a montage crap just to Uncharted, because it's their last one. It's the last one Naughty Dog's probably going to do, according to Neil Druckmann and company. I think that they want to move on to Last of Us and maybe another project. And don't expect a lot, guys. I mean, the best we're going to get is if Forza Horizon 3 gets a head nod. I don't think we're going to get much more out of that. Gears of War 4 will be mentioned for its soundtrack. And, I don't know. Maybe we'll get, I don't think you're going to get much from the Xbox. We never get anything on the Xbox side.
Yeah, I mean, it might win Best Racer because I don't think that there was much.
A category?
Yeah, it's usually a category. They lost to soccer cars. Forza Motorsport 7 lost to soccer cars last year.
Right.
So, I mean, there's that.
And that's a shame too, because to be honest with you, the concept and thought of the Game Awards is really great. You know what I mean? I think it's awesome. The problem is it's run by it's basically run by Sony.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Did you see the first copy of The Last Guardian in the Wild? Did you see who took a picture with it?
No, I haven't.
Your boy Jeff Keighley.
Oh, that's right. No, Keighley took a picture with what was it?
Whoever one of the people is from The Last Guardian, I think. So remember he was the one that took the picture with Kojima or whatever.
Yeah, it's rigged. Look, when you watch the Emmys or you watch the Oscars, if Leonardo DiCaprio, okay, he's a Oscars like fan favorite all the time, right? He's got front row seats.
Yeah.
When he was like 22 years old, he sat right next to Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson, who had like 85 movies to his 2. And he sat right there. So he was an Oscar darling from day one. But he lost like 17 competitions in a row before he finally won for The Revenant. And my point being with that whole thing is this is not the same situation. This is like if Leo won all 17 because he sits next to Jack Nicholson.
Not only that, Jeff Keighley is one of the main ones that really hyped up No Man's Sky, which oh my god, that is like the worst game I played. Like for games this year, I think they should do worst games. I would like to do that. Maybe we'll do that sometime this year. Like worst games or most disappointing, because I would think that probably The Division would be up there for most disappointing. I would think that No Man's Sky would be up there. Like that might be one of the worst games I've ever played.
Yeah,
no lie, that is seriously one of the worst games I've ever played. Games are supposed to be fun, and that game just isn't fun. And so I think I blame him a lot for that too, because he was the one that trotted that guy out there too, and was like, "Here's this trailer," and then I was watching this thing. Like if you watch it, I guess Sean Murray was on Stephen Colbert's Late Show or whatever, and he was playing the game, but apparently what he was touching on the controller wasn't linking up to what was on the screen. Yeah. So it was like, it's all smoke and mirrors. Like you get lied to and Sony gets away with it. They get away with it.
Let me answer something here, Crap. This is an interesting subject, okay? So Mr. Bean in the chat, he wrote, well, the way Mooch talked, you think he was on Xbox's payroll, which is very funny, by the way. And if I was on Xbox's payroll, I wouldn't be in all the controversy that surrounds BGST. Believe me.
Yeah. How can we be on their payroll if they hate us?
According to the haters, right? A. B. How about this? There's a thing in this country, right? Because the United States is a melting pot. Okay, we have so many different cultures, so many great different people that are here, right? My point being is, you have like Jeff Keighley. And you can see, I don't know if you guys ever watch his show or whenever he airs his, I follow him on Periscope and stuff because I like to watch him and how I honor and respect what he's done for video gaming, but you can see he has a fondness towards the Japanese culture. And that's okay. That's okay. Like he bows when he talks to them. He always says, Kojima-san or Yoshida-san. Like other people that are just in the gaming world, they're like, hey, I'm next to Yoshida, right? And and they're chewing gum with a big fucking pop the bubble, and they're like, so Yoshida. But he likes the whole thing. He puts his hands up next to his, in like a prayer shape. He talks to them like that. He even speaks Japanese. I've heard him speak Japanese. You got to understand something. That's fine and dandy. But then you can't run a game awards show where you're definitely favoritism. Like, you just can't do that. Like, you know what I mean? That's like if the host of the Oscars was always Leo DiCaprio's father. Yeah. Like, you just can't do that. Like, and this year's winner is my son, Leonardo DiCaprio, again. I just built another shelf. We got plenty of room for this. Like, he's into the Japanese culture. He's so much into it, and it's like literally, if Mooch made Kamasaki Dragon 17, Jeff Keighley would interview me, right? But he's just into that culture. So I think there's a little bit of lopsidedness, and that kind of sucks, right? Because the Video Game Awards would be so awesome.
Not to go on a political rant, regardless of which side you choose, the media themselves are coming out and saying they were biased during the election coverage, right? But the funny thing is you have people that believe that there's no bias. That at the time during this highly debated election process here recently, you had people that believed that there was no bias, that there was no slant, and the same thing with gaming. I still hear people go, "There's no bias towards Sony." People don't inherently dislike Microsoft. They like them both the same. They cover them both the same. And now we know that's bullshit because you have like the New York Times come out and admit, hey, we're wrong. They're losing thousands of subscribers. Right. Because even the Democrats are like, wow, you really misled us. You got the Huffington Post. They're like 99.9% chance Hillary wins. And people are like, what? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like this is, and you're seeing the same stuff with gaming. Like, so you can correlate that. And that's not an endorsement of anyone in particular. That's just, I'm just calling it how it is.
This is what's coming out in the news. Crap.
Yeah, these news people are apologizing for being biased.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I can't wait to see IGN, Kotaku, Polygon, and all them come out and apologize. How about remember this, folks, whether if you're in the audience, you're in the chat. If you own a PS4 right now, I don't care if you own a vanilla or you own the Pro, you have to understand something. Don't you feel just a little bit misled? Don't you feel like when you bought it, you were bringing something home that the media's been telling you is the superior console, and then when you plugged it in, you were like, it's really not? Yeah. Or it's status quo. I'm sorry. It's the same UI. Everything looks the same. The controller dies. I'm not even just the Pro. I'm saying it's a PS3 and a half. Yeah. The controller dies after 3 hours of use. They reiterated the console. they reiterated the console in the Pro, and if the controller still dies after 3 hours.
Well, yeah, like this is the thing, right? Like Microsoft widely has considered, or everybody considers the Xbox One controller to be the best, but yet they still tinker with it and perfect it even more every time they reiterate it, right? So each time it's a little bit better, a little bit better. Sony has like huge complaints. Thumbsticks are cheap and they fall apart. The light that kills the battery. There's no way to turn off the light. It kills the battery in like 3.5, 4 hours. They didn't improve the battery life whatsoever with either the Pro or the Slim. I don't understand how people can just like continuing to give them a free pass. Listen, but I am starting to see some of the media start to go, you know, that honeymoon period's over. And shout out to K Meg. I think he did a video about that.
Yeah, great video. I retweeted it this morning. That was a very good video. The honeymoon is over, people. The honeymoon's over. But listen, the thing about it is, crap, you have the Xbox One controller, which was the best from day one. But you had a bunch of asshats being like, there's dead zones. There's some dead
I remember
zones.
The dead zones.
You know, the only thing that was a dead zone.
Guys.
The only thing that was a dead zone was that guy's channel. That guy's channel was a dead zone.
Guys, dead zones. Guys.
Yeah, the guys. Listen, I've been gaming. I know how to shoot people with a controller, and it's a dead zone.
It's a dead zone.
So Microsoft apparently took care of it, because then after they came out with their second iteration of controller, within it, that same guy was like, guys, the dead zone's gone. They listened to me. Okay, whatever. Talk about a claim to fame, self-proclamation. Nonetheless, Microsoft still kept that. What did they do? They put Bluetooth in it. They did make the bumpers a little bit more, let's put it this way, pointer finger friendly. I think they made the ergonomics. They put a little bit of it's not a grip like the Elite has, crap, but the Xbox One S controllers have a nice little grittiness to the back. It's just Microsoft only keeps improving. Now you can update your controller wirelessly. I mean, it just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, we got us a call just when I was about to go to a voicemail too. What's up, MNC Mornings? Almost. I don't know what the hell I was thinking there, but what's going on?
This is a Mooch Maniac right here calling in. Bot. Sorry, I've been spamming your club. I love it. Hey, I love speaking my mind. I just called in not so much for a question, but to say thank you. And finally, it's been so long. We've been the silent majority of people just, taking it from PlayStation and listening to, there's no news outlet that gives actual news anymore. And it just gets tiring. So I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for finally speaking the truth. And I love JRPGs, and I wish that Xbox got more. But you know what? I still prefer my Xbox more. So I just called in to say thank you and keep up the good work. Later, guys.
That was
awesome.
That was nice, and I appreciate it. It's always nice to hear the Mooch Maniacs come out and voice their opinion as well. That's why we do this. And that's the same thing I did say. Crap, I do want to talk about clubs at some point today during the show in between calls. But I do welcome anybody to my club on Xbox is Crossfire Podcast. Come in and feel free to speak your mind. It's a place where you can come in and speak your mind. You will not be criticized regardless. It's a lot of other people, it's hard to talk around them because everybody's just, everything's kumbaya. Well, let me tell you something. Anybody who wakes up to an alarm clock, goes to work, has a flat tire on the way to work, or gets a call on the way to work, and things just kind of go astray, you find out life isn't kumbaya. So let's stop with all this nonsense and start talking. When we get to, life only becomes difficult when we put these masks on, right? Crap, we pretend that this isn't real and that's not real. When you actually call people out and the truth is out there, the truth will set you free, okay? Yeah. So just come on down to the Crossfire Podcast Club. I accept everybody. It's an open one. Yes, we accept cursing. Yes, we accept all types of gameplay. All are welcome. I'm never going to catch up to Crap. I think I have 300 and something members. Crap's got like a line around the corner like he's giving away iPhones.
Dude, I got something like 2,200 or something.
Yeah, you got like 2,200 members. Yeah. Holy shit. But God bless you, Crap. That's awesome.
What's really cool about it, what's interesting is, like, if I had to go moderate some people yesterday because they were just, like, spamming, you want to win something? Here's this. I was like, I had to block.
Well, I'm all for free speech, but let's not do any. I'm not advertising, so I don't want anyone else advertising.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, that was yesterday. I was like,
crap. Hey. My phone notifications are going off like mad right now. Crossfire Podcast has an invitation request. I got like 8 of them right now.
Yeah, I had to turn off the notifications. I had to because I was getting one. Like I was trying to record some footage and stuff. It's like invitation request. So yeah, I was like, yeah, okay, well, it is what it is, But we do have some voicemails.
Let's do some voicemails. We have a lot of voicemails, and crap. After this voicemail, we should discuss what we're giving away today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we've got a voicemail. You guys hearing an echo from me?
I am not.
Good.
No.
I'm hearing my own echo. That's fine. This guy calls in all the time. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's Faiq. I'm going to call him Fizak.
What's up, Fizak?
Hey, good morning, guys. Just have a couple of thoughts to share. First, Mooch, I know you have Batman Arkham Knight, and so I wanted to challenge Crap if you could try to sell Batman Arkham Knight to Mooch in the midst of all these great games that are out right now. So much so that after the podcast, Mooch goes straight to Batman Arkham Knight instead of anything else that he would play. Second thing is, I wanted to talk about Apple. I know Mooch likes to use Apple as an example, and I'll make this as quick as possible. Apple started off as putting professional tools into the hands of students, making it a great, clean experience, great customer service with the stores. iPad, iPods were great. And so Microsoft went ahead and implemented some of Apple's strategies with their own. They went ahead and modified their store. They started focusing on consumer electronics with the Zune, which wasn't popular, but Xbox certainly. And then the Surface, and now they're looking to make a Surface phone too. Hopefully it's successful. Windows 10 is great on all these devices, and convertibles are giving consumers options. And so the reason why I mentioned Apple is because if Apple had a model that worked, Microsoft went ahead and implemented it, but it seems like Microsoft doesn't get the credit that they deserve. Even when they do listen to the consumers and what people want with the feedback website and just everything that they've done in total, they don't seem to get the credit from the general public for what they do, and just for them changing their opinion. So I just wanted to get some of your thoughts about that. Also, just a couple of opinions that I have. I believe Halo 5 is still the best FPS. I just wanted to also learn about the one guy who came on, I think Mooch or Craps, one of you guys' podcast saying that their Xbox has some sort of secret sauce. I just wanted to learn more about that. If you could possibly get him back on the podcast and for him to talk about Gears 4, that would be great. Also, I wanted to ask, would you guys be creating a club? One of the Xbox Live features that are coming are clubs, arena, things like that. Would you guys be creating a club for us to join and possibly have tournaments or something like that, play with you guys? Also, how does Battlefield 1 sound on your guys' systems? I'm sure you guys have a pretty good sound system, so I just wanted to learn about that. Have you guys ordered a design controller? I ordered mine. Just to let you know, I made mine all white with gray sticks and gray backs. I would be interested to know what colors you chose, and also if there are any Xbox Live membership, I would like to make myself eligible for that. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.
Woo. Jesus Christ. He went a little too fast.
Listen, you know what was great about that? Has anybody ever seen the movie Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield?
Yeah.
At the very end, he has to take the exam with the professor, that the professor doesn't like him. And he's like, I have one question for you. And Rodney's sitting there with that cocky face where he's looking left and right. He's like, one question. And then the professor goes, in 27 parts. That was what just happened right there. Well, he's like, I got a question for you guys. And I was like, all right, shoot.
He's like, sell Mucho on Batman Arkham. I love Batman Arkham. I thought it was really good.
I have Arkham. I do have Arkham Knight.
Some people didn't like the Batmobile stuff. I liked it. You know what I mean? I thought that it was, I don't know if that game was the best. That might have been the worst of the bunch for me, but I still think it was a really good game. I don't know if I
hate the Batmobile.
Yeah, see, like,
well,
even J-Dubs is like, hey, I don't know.
Before I attack the Batmobile crap, listen, you guys all have seen the Macy's Day Parade, right? Where we have the big floats and you have the Spider-Man balloon that's almost as big as, it's taking up the whole street between two buildings in such a big city. That's how I felt like they designed this. Even Batman himself, not just, of course, the Batmobile really implies for that. But like, they made this beautiful city, but at the same time, it feels crunched. And it feels like there's a lot of stuff going on in just just like a crunched city. And people are going to go, Mooch, what are you talking about? It's such a big city. I understand that the grand like scale is big, but once you go down into the streets with the Batmobile, if you just like sneeze while you're playing, you smack into buildings like you're a bowling ball with bumpers. You know, it's a mess. I think the game really needed to they did too much. You didn't have to put every villain in it. You didn't have to put like the buildings so close together. They could have expanded it out a little bit. I played City all the way through. I beat City on 360. For some reason, Arkham, and I want to go back to it because shout out to Dealer Gaming. Dealer does all of his videos and he always plays Batman Arkham in the background. And I'm like, damn, that does look good. I just can't see myself putting 20, 25 hours into it with all these games coming out right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good game. What were some of the other questions he asked? Like, he was like,
well, before he got into the whole, I think what, I didn't write a lot of them down. I was going to answer the Batman question, and then he was asking about, the funny one was he said, can you bring the guy back on with the secret sauce? I was like, please let Crap bring Mr. X on. That'd be great.
Yeah, there's. That is probably not going to happen.
That probably wouldn't happen on Crap's channel, buddy. I'm sorry. When you said that, I was laughing. I was like, listen, I don't mind Mr. X. I don't mind. Listen.
That was Parasite X, first of all.
Oh, Parasite, excuse me. Parasite.
It's like, I don't even have a problem with it, but it's like all these supposed insiders and stuff, they're not even really getting information that we're getting. You know what I mean?
Right,
like our information is a lot more legit than theirs. So it was like, that's why.
It is. And, Parasite's a big fan of Microsoft. It ties in with what another question was. He really likes the Microsoft products. So when he gets a little bit of word on something, he does preach it, and he preaches it out loud, and he stands. He's like one of those guys in Vegas that's standing on one of the big stones talking about scripture and the Lord will be here tomorrow. You know, here's the thing. I don't bust Parasite's chops because, listen, there's a lot of Sony guys that do that too. And actually, believe it or not, if you don't like Parasite, then you understand why we don't like the Sony gaming media. Because all they do is stand on top of a stone preaching about how great things are going to be, and then they're not. Parasite, if you really look at what he broke down, he was 50% accurate. And I mean, when you're talking about a guy who was as radical as he wasn't that far off. He was wrong with the whole, the Xbox One 5.5 teraflops and, a little bit of this and that and whatever. I mean, look, it is what it is, but I don't hold enthusiasts on our side any more to a flame than I do the Sony guys that do it every day.
But you know what he was doing was like giving, I don't know. To me, he was like giving a lot of false hope and stuff to people. And I never thought that the Xbox One needed any of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, as far as I was concerned, it was always the better one, even if a game was in less resolution, because of just the community, the controller, the online, just everything was much better to me.
Well, the thing, here's my thing with the whole generation. Now that we can play Monday morning quarterback crap, I like that you're a traditionalist in that way. I really do applaud you for that. Now, a bit of what you've done over the past 3 years and knowing you've changed my thoughts on gaming too. But I will say this. I would always say that the games should speak for the victor, right? But at the same time, we did leave the 720 era in 2012, 2013. You would think that if me and you were sitting on any board, you would be like, if you were working for Microsoft, you would have said to me, Mooch, here's the deal, okay? I want games to be at the forefront. That's the most important thing moving forward. I would say yes, but can we just agree that now everybody in the world has a 1080p TV? We have to aim for that. You'd say, yeah. You go ahead and do that. That's easy to accomplish. That's just a different part off the shelf. You make that happen, but games are the focal point. And you're right, games are the focal point. But unfortunately, we did 720p for 8-9 years. It was time to move forward. So the games did speak volumes from Microsoft, even though people didn't support them at first. But I think that where Microsoft did mess up is you do have to realize that with a new console, even if you're talking about NES to SNES, it is graphics that matter.
Yeah. Well, again, resolution isn't graphics, though.
True. So. Very true.
MNC Mornings, what's up? Howdy ho.
What's going on, people? It's the Xbox calling straight from the tri-state area. Yo, guys, I have a question for you. Our boy, Randall Thor was giving me some shit yesterday about, I guess Frank O'Connor came out on some website somewhere and said that Halo 3 anniversary is, there's nothing planned at this time. So, guys, I want to know, do you think like the whole Halo 3 anniversary rumors are completely dead? Do you think he's trying to like cover something up, until they're really ready to unveil something like that, coming out around the time of the Scorpio? That's pretty much my question, guys. As usual, this is a killer show. You guys are doing a great job. Keep it up. I tune in every Sunday. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank
you, Xbot. And honestly, anyone that didn't catch, I caught next podcast. B Shadows was taking over. It was a great show. K Mega, Fuskies, Newark, the Don. Oh snaps! You guys really put he has the best names.
I know. I was
just
thinking that too. I was like, Jesus,
isn't that great? I've memorized that entire list of people on that show because I love the names. Fuskies is by far the best name I've ever heard anybody in podcasting.
Well, and Frank was on, I guess, NeoGaf. I don't know why these guys.
I think Rand might have a point, though. Crap, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Like, it probably isn't like since Frank said it's no. He says because the returns wouldn't be worth it. So I guess I get that. You know what I mean? And it is already they up-resed it and 60 frames per second did it on the Master Chief Collection. So I mean, what are you gonna do? I guess
Frank's a straight shooter. Xbot. I'm not trying to let you down, but Frank is the one that came out and revealed numbers when Microsoft doesn't do that. Frank's the one that came out and shot another Sony person in the foot when after they said something stupid. Frank's a straight shooter, so I don't know if Frank's the type of guy to be like, fooled them. You know, he's not really that kind of guy, so I would.
And they are coming out with Halo Wars 2 earlier in the year, so.
Right. And like I think we said on a BGST one time, crap, we don't want to suffocate the Halo brand.
Yeah. Because, look, Halo 5 did a really good job at, I think, of reinvigorating that multiplayer. As far as I'm concerned, that is some of the best multiplayer. And they're still supporting it. They really went out of their way to do a good job and support that. And I think that they've done a fantastic job. By the way, if anybody wants a steep beta code, just call in MC Space Mornings and say you want one. I have 3. So if you guys want to.
What is it you have? 3 what again? Oh, steep.
Yeah, steep beta codes. I got sent 3 of them, so if you guys want one, this is for Xbox One. Go ahead and
crap. We probably should get to another voicemail. Because we have so many today to get through, and that impacts a winner later on tonight or today. But crap, we got to talk about clubs because you remember my stance when it first came out when it was in the preview, and I've been trying to bite my tongue until it went public. And I appreciate that one caller who called in and said that he liked it. So maybe I need to go back to the drawing board and reevaluate. But the jury's still out on clubs. What's your take on it? Do you think this is going to stick around, or do you find it to be redundant?
I like it. I think that it's cool. I like how it's set up. You can share screenshots. It's I'm always like, hey, Xbox Nation tonight at 8 or whatever, and it always gets like 60, 70, 80 likes or whatever, and people are like, hell yeah, once in a while I'll get a troll or whatever, which is it's kind of weird to me that somebody would have an Xbox One and try to troll me. I'm like King Xbot, you know what I mean? Come on.
Right.
But I like it. I think that is pretty cool. I don't know, and you know what really reinvigorated it was that it's open to everybody now, because we have to remember that it wasn't, even though we had it for a long time, nobody else had it, like the majority of people. I managed to get over 1,000 people in there when it was just in beta, so to me, I think that that's great. Like a lot of the fans and stuff want to game with. I didn't even realize that people actually wanted to game with me and like hang out. Like you forget about that sometimes, and it's not saying that we're stars or anything, but I just think that it's cool. And I sometimes forget that people do like kind of like us and want to game with us and hang out and stuff. You know what I mean? I always forget that. People say this all the time, ignore all the trolls and the neutrals on Twitter. Like Crap said earlier in the show, always look at the source. But in all honesty, I'm proud to be the person that I am in the Xbox community. This brand is only going to get better. It's only going to get stronger. And to be honest with you, if you chose Xbox from day one, or if you chose Xbox as of yesterday, you're not that it's about being on the winning team, but this is a team that actually gives a shit about you, the community. We have open community game nights. Look at the podcasts that the Xbox community have versus the people that you may listen to on a Sony podcast. They don't talk to you. They don't want to hang out with you. This is an open forum. This is what this show's all about. This show is about people. It's about the audience. It's about the people that listen to all these podcasts, because you guys have actual concerns and questions that we may not hit.
And I think that's why this show is so important, and I hope it spreads to even more people catching us live. Catching us live or even watching us after. I know it says live on it, but I tweeted out on Monday morning and say this is a great show to listen to on your Monday morning commute as well. It's something that maybe sparks an idea and a good question for you to call in next week.
Yeah, and it's almost up on iTunes. So.
Yeah, we are almost there. Jay, do you J-Dubs, are you busy?
I'm always busy.
You are. Nice answer. Well, if you get a chance, Jay, I'll speak for Jay. Jay, do what you're doing.
No. What do you want me to talk about?
I just wanted you to let the audience know how far out we are from iTunes. We're very close.
Yeah, we're very close. So basically what I'm doing right now is I'm editing all of the audio files from all of the podcasts, which, if you've watched the podcast, they're 2.5 hours long, most of them. So I'm making sure that the intros are clear, the outros are clear. In the earlier episodes, things were kind of iffy because we were just figuring things out. I'm just cleaning things up, getting them up on iTunes. We've got a media server. Everything's running properly. It's just right now Apple's kind of giving us a hard time trying to verify the RSS feeds and making sure everything's clean and ready to go on their end. But as for everything else, if I don't get them up on iTunes as of this week, I'll be putting them up on Google Play and other places because they're not as strict. So just look out for that. We'll tweet it all out.
Okay. Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, also, I have a 1-month EA Access code that somebody's going to win. And I have Assassin's Creed Unity digital download as well, which actually that game is really good now. I don't know, maybe you skipped it or whatever, and it had problems at launch, but right now it's really good. I got a code for that complete download on Xbox One. And I also have Gears 1, 2, 3, and Judgment. So... I don't know if anybody's actually in need of this. I think that thing's like the most passed around thing ever, but I did get some codes for that. So yeah, we got some
crap. You're gonna have to make it. So who's gonna the Wheel of Wonder is gonna give away which then, and the call in after the Pony soundtrack will be who?
Okay, so I guess what do you think? We should do the Wheel of Wonder for the game, and then we'll do the Pony sound for a month of EA Access.
Yeah, so there you go, folks. So we'll go ahead and reiterate that so everyone understands. When you hear the Pony noise that has become very familiar to everybody, the next caller.
Hi, your ultimate party pony.
When you hear that, that's not this one, folks. So the next caller won't win it. But when you hear that later in the show, the next caller will get the 1-month EA Access, and then we'll be giving away AC Unity digital download game on the Wheel of Wonder for one of the very 10 lucky voicemail callers will get that game.
Yeah, absolutely. So hey, do we I know we probably have a voicemail ready to go, right, Jay?
Yeah, we have one from Aaron Wilkinson.
Oh, all right.
Let's do it.
What's up, Mooch and Crap? Love the show. Keep it up. Talking Forza. Turn 10 has the crown and appears to have no plans to give it up for what I see. With Forza 6, they perfected rain and night racing to such a T that they even went to the tracks to measure the depth and length and width of common puddle locations on these tracks, making project cars, dynamic weather, and rain irrelevant. With the snow expansion coming in Forza Horizon 3, it's clear that this will dominate as the answer to Drive Club's snow weather. With no formidable racing game in the PlayStation camp, to measure up to the Forza Motorsport and Horizon franchises. To me, it seemed that Turn 10 can take it easy, but knowing them and how they aim to push boundaries, what features in Forza Motorsport 7 do you think we can look forward to? Personally, I'd like to see a Formula Drift career mode. I think that'd be fresh. And one last thing, the Forza 5, they displayed a McLaren P1 on stage, still my favorite car to drive. And Forza 6, they lowered a freaking Ford GT from the ceiling. What car do you think that they'll wow the crowd with next year with Forza 7 around the corner? All right, that's it. Have a good show, guys. Much props to Jay, the graphic god.
Nice. I mean, I don't crap. I like Forza a lot. I know you love it. As far as what they're going to dangle from the ceiling for Forza 7, I don't know. I think I think they alternate. So I think since we did the Ford muscle car last time, I think we'll go back to some sort of Italian car, or could be a German car.
Yeah, I don't know 100%, but I think that we're gonna start seeing more weather. Like we're getting snow for the first time in the expansion for Horizon 3. So I wouldn't be surprised to see snow and more rain and wet weather options in Forza Motorsport 7. Obviously, that's going to be like a 4K 60 frames per second game.
I think that kind of answers his question too. What do you think 7 will bring? I think 7 will take all of the above, what we're getting between Horizon and Forza 6, and you're going to get all of that in Forza 7. I think it's just going to be an extravaganza.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fantastic. So it's always going to be really, really good.
That might be my first simulator I buy. Crap, I didn't buy Forza 5. I didn't buy Forza 6. I did buy Forza Horizon 2 and Forza Horizon 3. Just because of the open world. I like being able to just, between races, just break shit and look for those XP boards and, barn find. I like that, where the actual, you'll laugh at me at this, but in Forza, the races to me are the boring part. I like the customization of the cars. I like the barn finds. I like breaking all the boards. I like all the oddity stuff you can find. And exploring the world that they created and the way the cars all sound different and shit like that. I like that, especially with a Supreme sound system. It's fun. But, I don't know. Was there another question he had early on in that call?
I think that was it. If he did ask, then I apologize because I kind of glossed over it. I don't know. Like I've even trying to write these things down as they talk, but
speaking of things that are glossed over, Dishonored 2, and people probably don't even, right? People probably don't. It's on track. It's on track. It sure is, crap.
Yeah.
It sure is. Dishonored 2, I called this a long time ago. I said this will be another game that is going to be filed in the Mooch's Who Gives a Shit file. It's that and Watch Dogs 2. There's not a lot of hype. There's just not a lot of excitement in the community. Watch Dogs 2, I mean, Watch Dogs 1 is only what it was because it was a game that came out when we had nothing else to play. Think about the era of what was Watch Dogs 1 crap. There was nothing else.
Yeah.
There was nothing else to play. Remember, we were like, oh my God. It's the first game that's not on Xbox 360. You know what I mean? It was on
360, though.
Was it really?
Yeah, they put that was on 360 and PlayStation 3. And it was after they hyped it up at that E3 and they were like, look how great this looks. And it didn't even look like, it didn't even look like
Watch
that on
Dogs was on 360?
Yeah.
Wow. I thought that was the first one that turned the corner.
No.
But anyway, long story longer, that game wasn't great. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Hi, your ultimate party pony.
Boy, that couldn't have been any better timing.
Yes.
Next caller wins. But, to be honest with you, I think that, I don't know, for some reason, look, it's not discrediting anybody. If you like Dishonored and you like Watch Dogs, go grab that game and enjoy it. But realistically, there's another issue. Dishonored 2, apparently the person that was making the Xbox One edition was drinking fucking Scope and eating bath salts. I don't know what was going on. I don't know what
the lay off the bath salts, man, because that's not good for you.
It looks like a 360 game, right, crap?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I had noticed that I had watched some comparison video, right? And usually I can't tell those things at all, right? But I'm looking at this and you can really tell the difference. It looks really muddy and ugly on Xbox One.
Yeah.
And so I was looking around and I noticed that Xbox Mad had run a story on it because they had the Xbox One version and also the PS4 version, and so they were able to play both and say, hey, it looks really bad on Xbox One. So I'm looking, and then Rand Outdoor loves the game but said it looks worse than a 360 game. So I mean, I'm not sure what the deal is, but damn, come on, get your shit together,
Yeah, I don't know. To me personally, I saw that, and usually you would see Mooch, I'd raise the flag and go crazy over it. But that game to me it puts people to sleep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God, it's a coma.
Okay, we have a winner, guys.
All right, nice.
Okay, you're live with Mooch and Crap.
Who do we got?
Yo, what's up, Matt Crap? What's up, Mooch? My question for y'all is, with the Scorpios being so powerful, and Microsoft saying they don't want to leave the vanilla Xbox One owners behind, and Microsoft's big emphasis on co-op, I have a feeling that that they will lower the frame rate so they will be able to use co-op on the original Xbox. You know what I mean? Like Scalebound will probably be 30, and it'll be 30 on the Scorpio as well. It'll be 4K 30, but it's gonna suck. It's not gonna be 60. They already said Gears 4 single player won't be 60. It's gonna stay 30. Well, I've heard. And that's pretty much it.
Well, so Crap, you want to take that away? He's basically asking, how is it that the Scorpio, the devs will dumb it down? Is that a parity issue, you think, or he's just trying to say that's better utilizing the power of the box?
I don't know. Like when it comes to multiplayer, I think that that you have to do it a certain way. You have to keep it even. With the single player, I don't know that you do. So I mean, I think it'll be 4K 60 the multiplayer, and then I think the single. I'm not sure exactly. I think you have to keep it a certain 30 though, because if you play co-op, you know what I mean. That I think that would be something that you would have to keep in mind.
Yeah, I mean, I get things about the Scorpio that get me kind of excited. Is I just can't wait, and I know Microsoft's going to have a Crackdown 3 or something that comes out with it that's going to show its real strength. But I am looking so forward to hooking up the Scorpio and playing Gears of War 4 single player in 60 frames. I mean, Rod's already come out and said we're going to get that. Crap, we're also going to get Forza Horizon 3, I believe, on day one in 60 frames. Yeah. I mean, do you understand that? This is me, okay? I'm not a PC gamer. I don't have a rig in the house. I don't have anything that can play PC games. To be able to play Forza on 60 frames in 4K, it's utterly mind-blowing. It's going to be fantastic. And that's not even their new stuff. This is the other problem with the Pro versus the Scorpio. The Scorpio is going to have a plethora of first-party games that are ready today. You had Rod come out and said, "We're ready now. We're ready right now to launch that in 4K 60." Where Sony can't even get the remaster of The Last of Us to run at a solid. I saw it dip into the high 40s. Really pathetic.
Yeah, that is pretty damn bad. But hey, congrats! He won a month of EA access. So.
Yeah, that guy's name was Jacob Salinas.
Okay, so
nice.
After the show,
Jacob.
After the show, we'll get a hold of you on Twitter and Jay, or however Jay does it, and he'll hook you up.
Yeah.
No, I do it through Skype now. So that's since I'm getting people through Skype, I just send them their codes through the Skype chat.
Okay, gotcha. So that's not a problem. We're on track.
We are on track, guys.
Yes.
I do want to say M&C Morning's having a fantastic showing. We broke over the 300 mark today so far already. Let people know that this is a show for you guys, for the audience. These calls mean a lot to us, and it means a lot to everyone else listening because people like to hear me and crap talk. But let's be honest, myself personally, the biggest thing I look forward to on M&C Mornings is what the next call in is going to ask us, or what the voicemail next is going to move the direction of the show.
Absolutely, and I love that. I think that's one of the best dynamics of the show is. There you go.
There it is.
It dictates what we're going to do. So
it's almost like I rubbed the genie lamp.
Exactly. So
just to let you guys know that this guy is a winner of one of the earlier codes as well.
Okay.
Very cool.
Hello, M&C Morning.
How you doing, Mooch and Crap? I just have a quick question. My name is Virgil. I'm from California. I was just wondering, how do you feel about people, basically, they bash Xbox whenever Sony's doing bad? If Sony's doing bad, they always have to point out something with Xbox. What's your opinions on that?
Okay. Well,
thing. I'm not sure how. I want a free code. How do I get the code? Thank you, guys. Love you guys' show. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, I think what he's saying is when Sony's doing something, unethical or not great, what's the first thing the media does is they'll depict something that Microsoft did to kind of lighten the blow. Crap.
Yeah, that's classic deflection, right?
Yes.
So if I sit there and go, whoa, why'd Sony do that? Why'd they cheap out on that CPU or whatever? Then somebody will be like, yeah, but Microsoft, that 2013 reveal, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Listen, everybody in the audience, and shout out to everybody. Now we broke it, 306 people in the audience. Listen, let me tell you something. Thank you, first of all, for being here. Second of all, can we stop with the 2013 reveal? Okay? Phil Spencer went out there, put a hell of a show on stage. It just so happens, like Crap had said on Crossfire the other night, that Jack Tretton went and pulled the camera out of the box. He pulled the warranty out of the box. He pulled the credibility out of the box. And he's like, look, $399. And they're like, Jack, you forgot your tie. You took that off too. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You know, he's basically, Sony threw everything out of the box. Listen, Sony was going to put that camera in the box. You're going to have the same price point. Sony knew they had no games coming for the foreseeable future, which we still see they have no games coming. And what do? You have to undercut your opponent with cost. And then they came out and said, let's share a game. Okay, and now they're telling you you can't share a 4K movie. You have to buy it from them DRM. So Sony's full of shit, okay? And they thought they were pulling a fast one. But guess what? Shout out to Iron Wolf and a few other people that sent out pictures. Are you seeing, the pictures of Best Buy and the game stores with PS4 Pros piled up like a game of Jenga in these stores? They're not selling.
It wasn't just that. I also called up locally and was like, they stop. A lot of the stores are not taking PS4 trade-ins right now, like vanilla PS4s, because they have an overabundance for them. And you would think that they were trading them in for PS4 Pros, but apparently a lot of people are trading them in for Xbox One S's. So I think that a lot of people that were maybe thinking that the PS4 Pro would win November for Sony might be a little bit disappointed as far as the NPDs come in November. So I think that definitely. And what happens at this point? At what point do Sony fanboys have it sink in that there's a problem and that there's time to hit the panic button? I mean, that would be 5 months lost in a row. They had released a Slim, couldn't beat the Xbox One S. They released the VR, and that couldn't beat the Xbox One S. They released the Pro. That's not going to beat the Xbox One S. So what does Sony exactly have to do to actually, do before people admit that there's a problem now? It's a time to panic. It's coming down to games. It's coming down to services. It's coming down to features, and Sony ain't got them. Look at, they forgot that Microsoft out Sony'd by putting a 4K Blu-ray player in their slimmed down console. That's what they did. Sony has made a living off of putting the best media in these things. PlayStation 1 had a CD player. PlayStation 2 was the cheapest DVD player. PlayStation 3 was the cheapest Blu-ray player. And they should have went for the 4K Blu-ray. And then I think that they would be winning. If they had put a 4K Blu-ray player in the Slim, Microsoft maybe would be in trouble. But the fact that they didn't, man, Sony really looks bad. Sony looks awful. They look real, because they were the ones that just 2 years ago were like traditional media and share your games and all this stuff, right? And now they're like, well, you can download 4K stuff, and even though most people's internet isn't good enough to stream 4K, it's like 20% or something. So
this is really Sony. You say we use these same expressions, but it's true. They shot themselves in the foot here. Yeah. This hurts their brand. The brand is going to be hurt after this because you've confused the public. You've confused your fan base. Because now people were like, I thought I was going to get the Pro, but why am I buying it? No 4K player. The controller's still the same piece of shit. There's no games to play on it. And the games that I'm going to be playing, if you own The Last of Us remastered, you're going to get a worse experience on the Pro. That's just, you don't believe me? Tune into Digital Foundries, who gets paid by Sony. I mean, tune into them.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, it's really bad, but we are starting to see some of the media go, Microsoft is not only doing better things for gamers right now, they're also more consumer friendly. Just look at where Phil Spencer and Larry Herb and all these people were in Mexico. When was the last time Sony and Yoshida and Kaz Hirai went to Mexico and met with gamers, or Australia and met with gamers?
When's the last time any of those guys you just mentioned come to the United States besides E3? Never. Unless they have a show that they have to put on, they're never over here. But then when they do like a show on some kind of video stream, they're like, we love American customers, buy our shit.
Yes. Buy all our shit.
Buy our shit. And then you have American people like being like, defend them. Like, you have Phil. Phil was in Australia. Phil was in Mexico last week. Aaron Greenberg was riding around in a pimped out Mercedes-Benz throwing Gears of War 4 consoles at people and knocking people out with them as he drove by. Yeah. He's just chucking consoles out. Like, hey, here's a console. Ouch. People were getting whacked in the head with consoles. Like, it was crazy. And then you have Yoshida, who the minute E3 wasn't even done yet, the orchestra was still playing.
Yeah.
And he was on the plane back to Japan. He had to get out of there because he was disgraced. It's like, it really is. Listen, the Xbox executives, the Xbox faithful, the Xbox ambassadors, and MVP people that put out videos every day, every week. This community's alive. This is a different ecosystem. This is a different Microsoft. So if you're just joining in late, and I don't mean to this show, I mean you're joining in late to the Xbox ecosystem, you're in for a treat, man. It's a complete 180 from the 2012 era.
Absolutely. Let's do a voicemail.
How about a voicemail, Jay?
What do we got, J-Dubs?
We've got our old friend Tony the Pony.
Tony the Pony.
God
Can't
bless
wait.
him.
Yes.
Hey, Mooch and Crap. Tony the Pony, a.k.a. Princess 448. I wasn't going to do a voicemail this week. I'm so busy playing on my PS4 games. But I decided to because I went to my friend's house and he plays Xbox Live. I don't know why he's a dick. But anyway, we had to look at Mooch's profile and we discovered he didn't play any games. So it got me thinking, maybe you guys are just fake. Maybe you guys have been spending the last 4 years, week after week, faking this shit just to get subs. And obviously you guys make a shitload of money off this. And, everyone comes back in their thousands every week because people ain't good at telling when someone's fake or not, They'll just keep coming back and back and back for more, countless months after months. So anyway, that's just my thoughts. And look, I got to go anyway. I'm playing No Man's Sky, and it's so much fun.
Mooching crap in the morning, practicing healing through humor, including the use of parody and hyperbolic statements pulled from their collective backsides. Ha ha, ha ha, ha ha.
Really great, really great.
I'm over here snorting. I don't know.
Yeah, I know, right?
I just have a good time with the show.
I do
You know
too,
what I mean?
man. It's a lot of fun, man. I think the audience digs it. We've got a lot of a lot of people said that crap. Ultimately, we got one of the best compliments I've ever heard. Someone said to me when we were gaming the other night, they're like, "You guys are like the Howard Stern of video games."
That's exactly what the idea was.
Absolutely, that's what we're going for. We have these call-ins. Just so the audience knows, they're not us script. These are not scripted. We have our own, call-ins. Just the way Howard had his faithful that call-in. We have a lot of people that like faithfully want to be on the show, want to be a part of it. Yeah. And we'll always welcome it. We'll always let you guys on the show. It's an open forum for the audience to express themselves as well.
Yeah, the interesting thing is like I feel like this is a show where people kind of kick themselves if they don't catch it live. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that once we're out on the iTunes and stuff like that, that people will start to will prop it up a little bit more because we're like the only people I know that do something like this where we give everybody else a voice. Not that we have the biggest audience, but I mean more than the average, I would think. You know what I mean? Like you could get your point of view across, even if you don't have a same point of view as us. Which, by the way, apparently Creepy Bunny called in, but his thing was like 7 minutes long or something. So so we couldn't do that. So Creepy Bunny, if you are watching or whatever, if you have a question or something, like keep it under a minute or so.
Yeah,
I'll be
happy. Play 6-7 minute voicemails.
Like, that would just kill the show. We can't do that. People want to hear Mooch and Crap, not Creepy Bunny. Just saying. You know what I mean? Like seriously. So yeah. So keep it on track, Bunny. Don't be don't turn into like a Omazio or something.
Getting back to what we were saying, JJ. If there's a call and just interrupt us, but getting back to the Dishonored stuff and things like that. This is a hashtag lazy dev written all over it. Crap.
Yeah.
What kind of nonsense? What kind of nonsense when you have the money and the backing? And plus, look at Mooch. I didn't care for Dishonored, but other people liked the original one. You had enough of a fan base by making the port as bad as they did on the Xbox One. Doesn't that kind of seal it for you? Isn't it like that's it? It's over now because Dishonored 3 comes out. Nobody on Xbox is going to give it a chance. You've lost half the people with the disinterested story you're telling, and now you've lost everybody because you don't even care about giving us the resolution and clarity that you gave the other company. We're getting tired of it over here on the Xbox side, okay? This is to all the devs. Start giving a shit about us too. I'm not asking for more on the Xbox side. I'm asking for equal. Whatever you give one is good. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. You can't just do what you're doing. This is the same thing that happened with Titanfall. It's the same thing that's happening with these guys. We're tired of it. We're a consumer too. Xbox has won 4 NPDs. Now, that doesn't compete with PlayStation's yet, but I got news for you. The sky's the limit right now for Xbox One S.
Like I said, once Microsoft wins, November's NPD, you're going to see people start to kind of wake up. Like right now, the PlayStation fanboys, they're kind of like shaking their heads. They're a little bit on the run. They're seeing the media turn a little bit, but still you've got some of that media outlets that are like, well, our take on the NPD, let's wait and see what the PS4 Pro does. You know what I mean? Like, is that here's the thing that you have to remember. November is not just a normal month. November is going to be a month where you're going to be able to get an Xbox One S for $249 or less. And you know what else they're doing? They're giving away, I saw this on Walmart, they're giving away 4K Blu-rays with it now. They have a bundle that they're going to be doing for Black Friday. 4K Blu-ray with the Xbox One S purchase with a game as well. So, I mean, that's what you're starting to see. Now, I did see a PlayStation Pro ad with the 4K movie included as well, Blu-ray, but that makes no sense to me since
unless it comes with a digital code for Sony store.
Yeah, no, it's a Blu-ray, dude.
Then I have no idea. It makes no sense.
Yeah. So it's ridiculous. But anyway, MNC Mornings, what's up?
We do have a call.
How the hell are you?
Sorry I'm a little bit late today, Mr. Zombie Killer. And I got a question today is, you guys might have talked about this. It is. I'm happy real.
Apparently, Mr. Zombie's calling us from in the ground.
Yeah, Mr. Zombie Killer. He shoveled a 6-foot ditch and then jumped in it and made a call.
Yes.
All right. The Halo 3 anniversary rumor might not be real, but I'm not in the ground. But, rumor is not real. Hopefully, it might have went through right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Zombie Killer, thanks for the call, bro. We're just busting chops. No, he goes, I'm not in the ground right now. I think he said right now, too. Like later on he will. But anyways, I thought that was great. I think Mr. Zombie Killer, we kind of touched base on that a little bit earlier. I do think that Halo 3 is probably not coming to Scorpio as we had first imagined just because of Frank's comments. But listen, nothing's dead. They may decide to throw that. Listen, we've said this a number of times, right? Crap, they might just throw that in the box. They might just say, hey, you know what? We weren't going to do it, but here, knock yourself out, kids. Have a good time with that.
Yeah. Or they just might not want to do their resources to that. I don't know. Like next year is a bit of a, because what Microsoft does is they give you games for the more the future that's kind of right in front of you, not 5 years out. Right. So outside of some of the stuff, I mean, we know maybe there's some games that are coming out next year, but I'm sure we don't know all of them, and we don't know a lot of stuff. So it's really kind of a surprise, and I like that. Whereas with Sony, it's you're going to get probably one or two games that what would be their big game? I mean, it seems like they delay a game that's supposed to come out in the holidays, and it gets pushed out to the front of the next year, and then they have nothing for the holidays again. So I'm worried what's going to happen. So,
well, I mean, you're talking as far as Sony.
Yeah.
I don't know what Sony. I mean, what are they going to have next year? What's going to come out next year? Sony fans are hoping it's that Spider-Man game. Listen, I'll say it again. Spider-Man comes with a lot of nostalgia. We keep giving every time Spider-Man. Let's look at the movies. Let's forget the video games for a minute. Spider-Man, has been redone. That first story now has been redone 3 times on the big screen, and we're like, maybe something different will come. Nope, it's the same first story. Gets bit by a spider. They make fun of him at the fucking newspaper place. Then the guy falls for it. He falls in love with the girl. He kisses the girl, and Phil, and what is it there? Uncle Phil there dies, or whatever his name is. It's I don't know. It's the same thing. Was it Uncle Phil or was it Uncle Ned? What the fuck?
Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben. That's right. Uncle Phil. I love Uncle that, right? Phil, yeah. Uncle Phil. Uncle Ben, the rice. I should have remembered. Anyways, it's the same thing over and over again. This is going to be a game where he swings from one skyscraper to the other. Yes, it's a more powerful system now, so they'll be able to jump into a building, and maybe he'll be able to order a coffee, and then he's going to go back to jumping around New York City. It's the same game you guys played on OG Xbox. It's just going to be prettier. I don't know. That's my take on it. I don't think that game is going to be any saving grace for anybody. I think it's just going to be a name thing, and I don't think it'll do well. I don't think it's do very well at all. It'll do slightly less than Ratchet and Clank did. I don't think it's going to, it's not going to have the pull that like Star Wars Battlefront had or anything like that for Sony. That's my opinion. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just saw a picture of the PS4 Pro melting or something.
Oh, is it on Twitter?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Is it melting because someone lit it on fire, or was it melting because somebody was playing a game?
I guess somebody was playing the game. Look at the DM that Tim Dog just sent us. Wow.
Oh, wow.
That could burn down your house. Wow.
PS4 is producing worse graphics.
And it could potentially like burn your house down. Interesting.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it did. That is definitely that's smeltering.
Yeah, that's bad. For me, like I'm trying to be optimistic with Sony again. I'm not giving them credit without them earning it. If they were to come out next year with, Horizon Zero Dawn comes out and they can come out with God of War and Spider-Man next year and say Days Gone, those 4 games, I'd consider that to be a successful year for them. You know what I mean? I'd be happy with that. Yeah. But will that happen? No, I got a feeling we're going to get Horizon Zero Dawn and none of those other games. So
if this melting thing is catchy crap, that's a nail in the coffin.
Yeah. Oh no, Naomi Kai will be dressed as Spider-Woman for 2 weeks when it releases. Supersonic Station.
That'll get my ratings up. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, she already did the Harley Quinn stuff, but you know what's funny? She's doing a voice. She's voicing a character for a PlayStation VR game. Oh, I'm just saying.
You don't say.
Yeah. M&C Mornings, what's up? How can we help you? Roll on.
Come on in, the water's
going on, guys?
Oh, no.
Jesus.
4, 2, 7, 9, whatever. Yo, guys, this is not a question, but more like a prediction. I want to see what you guys think about this. With Sony and their obsession to try to sell hardware with no software. The Pro not having a UHD Blu-ray. Sony's coming out with their own UHD Blu-ray next year. So do you think it's far-fetched that Sony will come out with another SKU for the Pro next year that includes the UHD Blu-ray and tell all their fans they have to buy more hardware?
Wow.
Come on, guys. Let me know.
Well, let me tell you something.
Right, guys, I'm out.
Xbot, thanks for the call again, and I do appreciate it. And to be honest with you, if these melting PS4 Pros, if this is really happening, and that person that sent that out, crap, that wasn't like an Xbox fanboy. He's got a check mark next to his name, so he's an official somebody in the world. If that's true, I mean, this is a problem, and I don't think Sony can't sell another piece of hardware next year. I mean, they're already drowned with the Slim and everything else. I don't know. I don't think they can do that. What's your take?
Yeah, I think that it would be difficult if I had heard that there was some issues with heating, and people called me crazy. You know what I mean?
I remember like, no, crap, it's not that. It can't be that. No. It's
Yeah,
Sony,
so-
right? It's Sony.
Yeah, it's Sony. I mean,
Sony
come on,
doesn't
man.
make mistakes.
Yeah, they don't make mistakes. You know what I mean? Come on, they're Sony. They're great. You
Like
know,
when you walk into Sony Studios, the first thing it says is, "We're Sony. We don't make mistakes." They clear it up as soon as you walk in.
Yeah, so I mean, look, I think that hopefully not, because that would suck. But those things at least have a warranty, so I feel bad for anybody who's melting or whatever. I just think that's an issue. You know, I always say if you want to really see some of the issues, check out the forums, like the official PlayStation forums. You'll usually see a good run of problems there. Like, a little known facts are that PlayStation consoles aren't as sound as people thought. I had a PlayStation 3 launch one that had yellow light of death 3 times. I had PS2s, multiple PS2s with disk read error problems and disk drive problems. So they have, it's not like their hardware has been like free of problems or anything like that. It's just people widely report the Xbox ones more, you know,
Right.
And that's a bit unfortunate. But you know, we are coming up on the 11-year anniversary of the Xbox 360 on November 22nd, and then also the 15-year anniversary of just the original Xbox as well, which is going to be coming up in November as well. So I think that's interesting. You know what I mean? They changed the world as far as I'm concerned, because they put the American influence into gaming. Like, there was none of that before, you know, and so I'm very thankful for that. Just as an American, like, you don't have to, it's not like a cocky thing. It's just, for me, them putting that American influence into it. They give me the games that I like. You know, if other people feel differently, then that's fine. But let's face it, in my opinion, a lot of the games that are being made are, you know, like Gears and Halo, those are some of my favorites. You know what I mean? And those will always be my favorites.
Well,
and
you know, a lot of people like to argue with us in the chat or in the comment section. They go, "Well, you don't speak for everybody in America." But listen, everyone always kind of speaks for the majority. And here's the thing: Microsoft coming out with Halo, now Gears, and you're seeing a better console put out by them, and you're seeing an even better console put out by them next year. I mean, this country we're a war country, right? That's just what we dig. Like, people watch Schwarzenegger movies, and they watch what is it? Not Schwarzenegger. They also have Bruce Willis movies. Oh, how many diehards can you make? I mean, Bruce Willis is almost in both of his legs are in a cast in the next one.
Yeah.
He can't even move, and they're like, "Well, I got to see that." I don't know. What do you think, Crap?
I think we should take a voicemail.
Okay.
Do we got it? Because I hear we got a long one. Is that true, Jay?
Yeah, we've got one here. This is from Robbie Pablo.
Okay. What's up, Robbie? Give us that voicemail.
Yo, this is Robbie Pablo, a.k.a. the black guy with Hispanic people problems. And, man, I just want to, call in and rant about a few little things, man. For my first rant, the Connect, man. The Connect, man. You guys always say, man, the Connect is dead, man. The Connect is dead. And in my world, man, the Connect is alive, man. Me and my daughters and my fiance, man, we play on the Connect all the time. But, man, just recently, man, it really hit me that it's dead. I just purchased Just Dance 2017. And I have an Xbox One S, and I don't have the adapter, to have the Connect. Anyway, do you guys know you can play Just Dance 2017 with up to 5 people without a Connect? All you have to do is use your cell phone. Download an app and use your cell phone. And it works pretty damn good, man. So that was like a damn slap in the face, man. That really hurt. Tear. Rant number 2. I didn't catch the Microsoft conference when they talked about the VR and AR, whatever they was talking about, man. So hopefully you guys can shed some light on this. I was recently in the Microsoft store to purchase The Walking Dead Season 7. And I noticed it said it's available on Xbox One, 360, PC, mobile, and holographic. Could someone explain what the hell that means? And my third rant and my final rant, man, I'm sorry I'm being long-winded, is I listen to all you guys' podcasts and, all this good stuff. And the topic was, why did Titanfall 2 sell? And everybody was like, it's because it's released around COD and it was released around Gears and Battlefield or whatever. And the real reason Titanfall 2 fell is because of you guys. You guys is the reason it fell. And I'm going to tell you why. You guys look at yourselves like, oh, we're just a small channel. But, man, truth be honest, man, y'all word holds weight. It holds weight, man. And a lot of people in the Xbox community back you guys. So I feel like if it's a problem with the game or you have a problem with the development, speak your mind. Because us Xbox guys have y'all back, man. Stay firm with that crap, And even when I had a second thought about buying the game, they put Next Gen 720 Twitter on a little article, whatever. That definitely made me put the damn game back. I was like, you know what? Screw that, right? So, fast forward, man, My fiance surprised me with the game, right? She surprised me with the game, and I was okay with it. But then I seen that a Microsoft exec took a shot at Mooch. Now, this is what really kills me, fellas. This is what kills me. You guys wave that green flag no matter what, right? But yet, some big shot want to take a shot at you guys. But do you recall when Francis took a 360 and slammed it on the ground? I'm sick of this 360. Do y'all guys remember that? Did anybody tweet out about that? You know what happened? His doorbell rung. It was Larry fucking Herb there. Yeah. Larry Herb. Right? Yeah. Mooch and Next Gen wasn't out here breaking goddamn Titanfall. And I just feel like that's a big slap in the face, man. All I'm trying to say is, man, continue to do what y'all do, man. And just remember, y'all words hold weight. And we go ride with y'all, man. For real. I'm out.
Yeah. First of all, thank you very much. And let me tell you something. For one of the first times on MNC Mornings, I was enjoying that call so much that I kicked back and I was like enjoying a show because he spoke so much truth in those few minutes. It's not even funny. And, you know, to clarify, just so he knows, we've reached out and, you know, Crap, and I'll give Crap where credit's due. We've spoke to the executives. They don't hate us by no means. But what he said was true. Apparently, you know, our word does kind of get around. You know,
they
listen.
weren't. I mean, look, it is what it is. You make a joke, like that's what we do. We joke, and it's so sad that and kind of funny that we got, you know, people. We had She-Wolf do some drops for us so that we can kind of like cover our asses because it's gotten to that point. And even on my Twitter, I used to have anything that you are offended by on my timeline is a joke because we live in that world now. Like people don't understand, and the funny thing was and then we'll just kind of go over it real quick for those that don't know, even though we said that we probably wouldn't talk about this much. But what happened was I'm echoing a little bit.
Yeah.
But anyway, so anyway, like I was kind of poking fun at some of the Titanfall stuff, and it got when, you know, people were like tattled, like, oh my gosh, Crab said this or whatever. You know what I mean? Like completely out of context. And so that's how that whole thing started. Phil doesn't have a problem with me. I've spoken to Phil. You know what I mean? Like it's all good. He understands what I do, what we do. It's, you know, that's what it's for fun. And yeah, it's like, it is hard to believe that there are thousands of people that maybe listen to what we say. So yeah, like in that aspect, I agree. Like I was surprised at how many people skip Titanfall based on the way that they kind of treated the Xbox community. Yeah. So yeah, I will definitely say that. So
listen, you know, we've been saying this for a long time. And Jay, if you could give me that caller's first name, because I'd like to address him. That was such a good call.
That was Robbie Pablo.
Robbie, listen, you know, to be honest with you, Robbie's right, but I've been saying this for a long time. There's brand loyalty, okay? There's brand loyalty no matter what we're talking about. It happens. Do you see what happens in politics? And people go, you can't compare politics to gaming platforms. Well, there's people who argue about sports teams. There's people who argue Apple versus PC. There's people that argue Microsoft versus Sony. Listen, it is what it is. My point being is when you're a developer, okay, or you're a company, you honor one thing, money. You don't honor one side over the other because people do video game awards or it's just trending or you like blue versus green. You don't do that in business, okay? Anybody who's a successful businessman or businesswoman is because you know what they value? Your wallet. And listen, that sounds ill and wrong. It's not. It's business. That's the difference. When somebody fills out a credit app, okay, and they pass with flying colors, it doesn't matter what they're wearing or what they look like. They get approved, and you let them in, and you let them shop, okay? You don't judge people by what their preference. When you're making a game that's on both platforms, you don't tweet out green isn't sexy, and then you don't tweet out later on only PlayStation discs. People say it doesn't matter. Apparently it mattered. I didn't think it would hold that much weight. I really didn't. Crap, you said it earlier in the show. You said it in the show. You said, I didn't expect us to be able to, you know, people to actually tune in and take us seriously or want a game with us or this and that. But no, now we realize that people do. But that doesn't make me go back on my word. I still was not happy with the way we were treated. And you know what? Bravo to Robbie also for bringing up a point. How dare anybody not like what Crap and I say when it comes to our opinions, but then Boogie, who has 2 million followers, takes Microsoft's merchandise and throws it in the middle of a highway and then cars run over it, okay? He can do that and then still get he gets invited to present at the Video Game Awards, and he gets Major Nelson to show up to his house. Major Nelson doesn't even visit his own family on Thanksgiving. He's that hard to book. I'm just saying, like, he goes and sees this guy, somebody who's been blasting the Microsoft name. Like, my point being is we are all pro Xbox. Like, you should definitely be, like, Microsoft should be a little bit more lenient on us because all we're ever speaking is our minds, and generally it's in favor of Microsoft. Generally. I mean, there's always a couple, and that's what makes us so pure is Crap, my guy, Crap went on a 3-month hiatus If you don't remember, just check out all his memes with the pictures of people with their thumbs up, Win 10 family. I mean, Crap wasn't a fan of it initially, but that's a good thing because he's trying to tell you that he's not just okay with what Microsoft does.
Well, that was, you know what, the funny thing was that I started doing that with that whole Quantum Break thing, and people tried to boil that down to Crap's mad because other people get to play it, which was never the original argument. And you can look at the tweets. Like, I was upset that they announced it 4 weeks before it launches, and that I had known people that were PC gamers that bought an Xbox One because they kept on saying it's only going to be on Xbox One. It's exclusive. And then 4 weeks ahead of time, they're like, nope, you didn't need an Xbox One. You know what I mean? Like, that was kind of a little bit anti-consumer in my opinion. So that was my original thoughts. It was really nothing to do about the game also being on PC. Yes, I was never a big fan of that. But to me, to my credit, I don't think that the stuff being on PC has really done that great for them, to be honest with you. So, I mean, we might, like, that's why I was not making a big deal out of it, because I think that this PC stuff will pass. But MNC Mornings, what's up?
Where was the PlayStation 4 buyers for Titanfall, by the way?
Exactly. What's up, MNC Mornings?
Hey guys, this is Xbox Swan from Anaheim, California. Just want to talk a little bit of follow-up on the last phone call you had. It was pretty interesting. You guys got to remember, Microsoft is a company that in the 90s was viewed as a monopoly. So the way they compete against other people is different now. I mean, these guys took Apple out of going down. I mean, they invested $100 million in Apple back in the 90s. And the way they compete now with Sony and Nintendo, the way they price them, game events is basically, that's the way they do it now. They just have a lot of respect for their competitors, and you just don't see the same thing coming up from the other side. I mean, where was Sony or Nintendo praised for Microsoft when they released Forza Horizon 3 or Gears 4? Anyway, that's it. Bye.
Okay. Well, I think he was just reiterating why people initially had hate for Microsoft way back in the day. And I understand that it's hard to let things go, people, but let things go, people. It's time to relax. It's 2016. It's not 1999 anymore. You've got different. Listen, your local donut shop or pizza place, how many times have you driven by and seen under new management? Do you walk in and start being like, the people that were here last week sucked? No, you don't say that. Right? I mean, you're like, let me try your pizza, and hopefully you're better than the last guy, which is why they made the sign under new management. They want people to know that. And when Phil took over as Xbox lead, one of the first backhanded compliments, if you will, from Sony was Yoshida made a comment, I'm paraphrasing, he's the most human person there.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Yoshida, because when I think of, like, just humanity and Mother Teresa, you're right under her. No, Yoshida, you come off as an absolute soldier that could give two shits about your consumer. So, I mean, actually, speaking of that, Jay, do we have a voicemail?
Uh-oh.
Oh, bad timing on my part.
Oh, welcome, Xbox loyalists. Yoshita here, and I am in piss-off mood. Why? Because Mark Cerny tried to call in last week and get my codes and my prizes, fabulous prizes at MC Mornings. Sean Murray, regenerate car so we can go kick Crap Gamer's ass. I will be paying you guys a visit very soon. So I recommend you'll give me a free code. But I am not threatening you'll just give me something, okay? Because I am broke as hell at Sony Studio. Everybody is making fun of my PS4 Pro. You might need a damn dolly or something when you go to GameStop to get this big ass console. It's so huge. I told them to make it big and go big. I didn't mean that damn big 3 triple cheeseburger damn console. God, nobody listens to me. Oh, okay. I guess that's about it. Can I please win one free code? I call every weekend, no free code. Okay, so say Yoshita.
You're listening to MNC in the Mornings. As always, remember, you can't take anything they say seriously. It's just jokes. Jokes performed by YouTube professionals, and usually the joke's on them.
That was such great timing.
I think. Well, I think he puts it right at the end of that one, just to make sure. I think Yoshida's English is getting better though. So
it is getting better. It's getting very good. Yes, it's really good.
It's really coming along. I think he must be playing a lot of Xbox Live. That's what I'm taking from that.
And to answer Lace Chucks in the chat, that's not Showstopper.
No, that's
but he goes, "Is that Showstopper?" I'm like, no, it's not.
It's Yoshida. You heard him,
Yoshida.
Yeah. Why would somebody call in and pretend to be Yoshida? I mean, come on.
That's insane. Nobody can impersonate him. He's the one and only, the great Yoshida who called in.
Exactly.
I forgot where we were before that. But yeah, I mean, it was all getting back to Robbie's call. I thought Robbie's call was really, he hit home on a couple of different subjects. What did he say before what was that Titanfall controversy? I think he was getting into something else. Did you write it down, Crap?
No. I don't know. I didn't, because it's going really fast and I got like 4 tabs open and I'm trying to pay attention. I was sitting there sending Jay Williams the codes and stuff. And then I'm sitting there trying to type in what these people are saying. I don't know. It's kind of frantic, but it's like for me, on a Sunday, I'm usually a little bit nervous because it's football day. But my team won on Thursday, so I don't got to worry about any of that stuff.
Yeah,
I feel much better when they don't. It's and you play the Browns, and honestly, that's like a bye week anyway.
Right.
So it's I have this saying now that's so Cleveland. Right, hey, you're winning the World Series 3-1 and you lose it. That's so Cleveland, right? I mean, come on, come on.
Here it goes.
You're the Cleveland Browns and you're 0-10. That's so Cleveland.
You're gonna get a couple people in the chat coming after you. I know that.
Oh, I know. I just like joking around.
I know
it's just jokes.
Listen,
just jokes.
The G-men are playing Monday Night Football, so there's no rush on my end either. So I don't have a one. Usually the Giants are always a 1 o'clock game.
I do get to turn into a Dallas fan today, though. They play Pittsburgh, so.
Well, I will be turning into a Pittsburgh fan. So let's go. Terrible towels. Kids, get the terrible towels out.
Delilah. She's like,
Delilah's going to kill you. She's going to kill you.
That's so Cleveland. Come on.
She's all Cleveland all day.
I know.
I think, that's what it was that Robbie was talking about was the Kinect.
Oh, yeah, the Kinect. You can get a free Kinect adapter. You just have to, sign it up, go to that site or whatever.
Yes.
I'll give it to you for free.
Yeah, I mean, I've been one of the longest lasting Kinect endorsers, but I did get the Xbox One S, of course. I do got the adapter for it. I do have it all hooked up. But except for facial recognition, I really don't use it much more anymore. Crap, I hate to say that. I do use it for Snap, voice recognition, but minimalist. I'm a minimalist with it now. I barely use it. I use it for snapping or hey Cortana, take a snapshot or something like that.
Yeah. I use I went back to the Xbox way of the controller. I'm like, Xbox, record that or take a screenshot.
I think I'm going to do the same. I was trying to hold out, but when you have to say, hey, Cortana, every once in a while she says warming up or something like that. The problem is when you take a screenshot, a lot of times it's in the moment. So you can't, when it says warming up or give me a second, it's like,
that's why I'm always like, Xbox, take a screenshot and then it works.
And if people are going, Mooch, come on, that's crap. That's not true. You don't have to, I'm like, no, especially when you're taking pictures in real life, a moment happens. You can't be like, someone doesn't say, hey, take a picture. And you're like, warming up. You know what I mean? They'll be like, what? Warming up? Yeah, I'll be right there. You're like, it's over. It's over. It's like, so I've missed so many different great screenshots because of the warming up feature. So I think I'm going to go back to the Xbox original commands. Good point, Crap.
Yeah, L Boogie says you have to have your original, Xbox serial number, thank you, to get the adapter for free. But most people have to register their consoles anyway. First thing I did when I got my Xbox One was register it, you know what I mean, online, because I think when they were adding a 6 months extra to the warranty if you did that. So I did that. I mean, obviously it's out of warranty now, but at least my original launch one was, which I kept anyway. So I have a hard time getting rid of stuff. You know what I mean? It's like I got my that box, that original launch day one box was just awesome. You know what I mean? That thing was packed up so nice.
This guy who's got L Boogie 201. I'd like to send him a shit sandwich from the last Walking Dead. Anyone that still says X-Bone, honestly, you're an asshat.
I've never heard an actual fan call it that.
I don't know if he's a fan. I don't know what he is.
I don't know either.
He's got Boogie in his name, so it's not a good start.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, I know we have a we have another voicemail, don't we, Jay? J-Dubs?
We've got Matty Beast.
Matty Beast.
Matty Beast.
I feel bad I called him Matty Monk last week because that was his old name, and when he sends emails in, they come in as Matty Monk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's Matty Monk Beast. He'll get over it.
Hey, MC Mornings, it's Matty Beast. I'm calling in on election day. I just got done voting for the Mooch and Crap ticket.
Nice.
I'm excited. I'm hoping you guys will get enough votes. Maybe you take things over. But let me ask you really quick. If you did get enough support and no Mooch and Crap were able to take things over, what would you guys do to make gaming great again? I'll hang up and listen. Take care.
Great call.
I don't know. You go ahead, Mooch. we make podcasts great again, so I'm sure we
Absolutely.
can make gaming great again. Yeah.
What would I do to make gaming great again? I would actually I would mandate developers to stay in their lane. That's the first thing I would do. If you said I was actually literally the president and I was making a call for both sides, the minute I saw any kind of developer taking a side that's a multi-plat, that's outside. I mean, if it's a marketing deal, it's a marketing deal. That's different. If you have a marketing deal with a certain company, then all rights are reserved to you and that company. By all means, knock yourselves out. They paid for it. But if it's a game that's not on one side or the other and it's just coming out for both, I would do that. I would also, first thing I would do is make it very taboo or put a little mud on your face if you have a marketing deal with a company and then you just go out tweeting whatever you want or saying publicly about the other company. The thing about it is, like I said, people say, oh, Mooch, you shouldn't say that. Mooch, you shouldn't care. But shouldn't somebody teach these guys business and how to run a business?
Yeah.
And if you go, I love how people would say, oh, Mooch, how do you know? You're going to tell a big company other. Well, if you don't believe me, just look at the sales numbers for Titanfall. Not very good. Yes, I understand it got sandwiched between two big games, but everything plays a role. Everything plays a role. Like, even like you say, using Matty's example of the political world, it wasn't one thing that did one person in or another. It was multiple things. So, when you look at what Respawn did wrong, they did a lot of things wrong. I think EA's to blame for the release date. I think Respawn's wrong for a couple of their PR stunts. It all adds up. It all adds up. And then last but not least, but, the actual game itself was changed dramatically. It's just a lot of different things. And at the end, you sit there and you go, well, it was Mooch and Crap. It's not listen, thank you for saying you listen to our words. But realistically, you can't make a shitty steak at a restaurant and blame the critic. You know what I mean? If the steak sucked, blame the chef. And in this case, the chef is Respawn and their developers. They made a lot of mistakes. So, I mean, to make things great again, to answer your question, Matty, is I would just govern it so that everybody has a fair chance. That's what I've always asked. If Sony won this generation, do it fair, not with the media up their ass and everybody else just promoting good times and great tastes at Sony. That's not the way it is. It's just not like that. I promote fairness.
I'd force Sony to agree to do cross-network play. Like, that's what I do. I'd be like, yo, Sony, you guys got to get in on this. You talk a good game about how you're 4 players and stuff, and then you kind of the ball's in your court, and then and everybody forgets about it. You notice that? Like, nobody's talking about this anymore. Just like with them trying to patent the word "let's play."
Oh, everyone forgot about that, right, Crap?
Yeah. Hell, those are some of the lowest rated videos I've done, and we talk about it, and people are just like, like they don't understand that that's like some of the most anti-consumer bullshit that you could do. And Sony didn't care; they went after it multiple times, and finally they got denied, and for the final time, you know what I mean? Like, and what really blew my mind was when you look on NeoGAF or N4G, people are like, well, Sony, even if they wanted it, they probably wouldn't stop people from monetizing it or do whatever, you know what I mean? Because Sony only really does good things, and they really care about gamers. You know what I mean? And it makes you just like cringe sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, for me anyway, I'm like, really? Come on, get out of here.
No, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. And I don't like to go back to back to back, but we do want to do another voicemail, right? Crap, we have a bunch of them. I think we still have 4 or 5, don't we, Jay?
Do we have, how many do we?
We had 10 altogether. So
okay, so let's roll a couple more voicemails in.
Yeah.
Here, this one here is from Luca Alexander.
His name is Luca. He lives on the 2nd floor.
Nice. Nice, Crap.
Hello, Mooch and Crap, and also J-Dubs. My name's Luca. I am a new listener, I suppose you can say. I've been listening to you guys for about a month now. I started with Xbox Nation, moved on to MC Mornings. I started listening to BGST. I love all your shows. They're awesome. It's crazy how many shows you guys are on. I have entertainment every day of the week, pretty much. Also started listening to Crossfire. That's really good too. Anyways, I just wanted to say thanks. I got a PlayStation, right? I got a PlayStation 4. And that's pretty much the second console I've ever owned because I had a PS3 before. I got into gaming pretty late. Like my brother has an Xbox. But yeah, I didn't really play on it too much. And I was in the market and I was looking to expand my horizon, especially for the Skyrim remaster, considering the fact that you get less on the PS4 than you do on the Xbox. And, I was just looking up reviews for the Xbox One S, and the Xbox Nation came up, and I was just like, okay, let's listen to this, see what they got to say. And it was amazing. And you guys, and She-Wolf, and GKB, and Hellhammer, you all just, you guys are really doing a service out there. There were so many things that I just didn't realize, like the media bias. It's just not stuff I pay attention to. But now I'm paying attention to it, and you guys are definitely right. It's out there. So I just want to say thanks. I appreciate you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. You guys are awesome. No question here, just praise, I guess. All right, thanks. And once again, it's Luca. I'll let you guys get back to it.
Very cool.
Nice. I think that's part of the 1.3% of our female demographic.
Yeah. I was going to say that, but you never really know. To be honest with you, it's hard to tell over the phone. It's hard to tell over the phone. But, in all honesty, I want to say thank you to Luca because that's awesome. And the fact that, here's the thing. People do stumble onto our channels, crap, and they get a chance. That last part was so important. That what we've been saying for so long, and I said this on Crossfire, look, I don't want to thank you. I don't want an award. I don't want a medal. I don't want anything. But we've been calling this media bias for a long time, and people said, you're full of it. That's not really true. That's just you. It's very true. And people are tired of it. And once people get their eyes open to it, it's nonstop. It's just been nonstop for 3 years. We're the only other side to conflict these people. And you know what's funny? They really do get angry at us, crap, right? I mean, you have the media that doesn't like us. Why do you think they don't like us? Because we're calling their shit. We're calling their bluff.
Yeah, like even if you look back to and the funny thing is, a lot of people will say that we're media. We're not really. We're alternative to that, I think. And I think that's what people need to remember. When you have paid journalists like IGN, GameSpot, all these sites, Eurogamer, these places are paid to actually speak unbiasedly, and unfortunately it's here's the thing, right? Like I'm a Baltimore fan, like Ravens out. Whenever I watch, if I watch the Fox NFL pregame, right? Terry Bradshaw, he used to be a Steeler. So of course he's favors the Steelers. You know what I mean? And that kind of bugs me. When you watch somebody commentary or whatever, you can always tell if they favor a team or the other. I just would rather there be no bias, just people just be fans of the game. I mean, it's like whenever you watch Troy Aikman call a game and it's a Dallas game, he clearly likes Dallas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, it is what it is. Crap. When you anger somebody, it's because you're calling their bluff. You caught Destin Legary with his pants down with that 900p.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
He's like, I don't get involved.
I don't do console wars crap. And I was like, oh, okay. So I tweeted him back that picture where he's doing the daily fix. And he's got the 1080p PS4 in one hand and the 900p Xbox One in the other. I was like, right.
Okay. What's that then? And then he just disappeared. My point, he disappeared after that. It's a bunch of nonsense. And you know what? It was funny. We were talking to Jez on Crossfire. Remember this crap? And Jez was like, he's like, the whole premise of the gaming media is kind of made up. And I was like, he goes, it's kind of a fabricated world. And I go, it's a fabricated world that makes billions of dollars. Yeah. I mean, you have Viacom is involved with some of these companies. You understand? I mean, these are not small rinky-dink companies that own IGN and Polygon. They all have big parent companies, people. These aren't independent mom and pops. They have big independent companies. Granted, they're smaller. They're the small fish in the big independent companies, portfolio. But nonetheless, they have big time backing.
Yeah.
So my point being is that these guys they come out, they say this nonsense, and they really do alter the purchasing power. I don't think PlayStation 4 would have done so well if you didn't have everybody kissing Sony's ass that whole time.
Yeah, I agree. So let's go ahead and hit another voicemail.
Yeah, hit another voicemail because it is getting. Like I said, we'll run a little late today because we're being biased here. Crap, the Giants and Ravens aren't on at 1 o'clock for once.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a voicemail here from Jose Rodriguez.
Jose Rodriguez.
And
Guilty.
thanks to Lucas again for that great call. Oh,
Let's
Luca,
go.
excuse me, Luca.
Luca on the second floor.
Hey, good morning, guys. This is Humble X Dos from Twitter and Xbox Live. I want to say I'm a big fan. I love all your shows, Crossfire, M&C Mornings, BGST, Xbox Nation. They're all phenomenal. I just wanted to get your guys' opinion on something. So this year I was lucky enough to go to E3, and when I was there, I noticed one of the biggest games was Sea of Thieves. I mean, the booth was crazy busy to the point where people were just lining up. It had a bunch of hype. A bunch of people were talking about it. Of course, the media wasn't really saying too much, but it was just, it was through the roof. But up until now, we haven't really heard much. Why do you think that is? And also, do you guys think that game will be very successful for Microsoft? All right, we'll keep up the good work, and talk to you guys soon.
Well, Crap, I'll if you don't mind, I'll go first on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm very I'm just kind of skeptical on the whole Sea of Thieves thing. Crap knows this. We've had this talk. I'm not going to sit here and bash it. I might have to file this under the, it just doesn't, it's not in my wheelhouse kind of game. Like Battlefield 1 is fantastic. It is a great game. I don't have anything to say about it except that it's just not for me. And that's okay, right? Not every game that comes out is your cup of tea. That goes for anybody in the audience or anybody that does a podcast. But to be honest with you, Sea of Thieves has to show me a little bit more of the quest system. When I start to see what they have for quests, that's going to interest me so much more when it comes to building the ship with my team and this and that and the other thing. I have to see what they're going to do as far as quests. And what do we do outside of when the ship is built and just throwing cannonballs at the other ship that passes by. I need more than that because what I've seen so far is just a quick glimpse of what was given to us in Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I need a little bit more. And remember, the ship portion of Assassin's Creed was just a small portion of it. This is a game built around this. So for me personally, I don't have anything bad to say about Sea of Thieves. I just Microsoft needs to show me why it's for me. Because right now, from what I've seen, it's not a mooch buy day one personally at this point. But I could very easily change when I see a little bit more of what the game entails outside of building the ship with my crew. That's where I'm at with Sea of Thieves.
I mean, that's fair enough. You just want to hear more about it. Like a lot of people, like they always slag you or whatever because you said the same thing about Horizon Zero Dawn. You're like, well, what's it about? What's it about?
What are we doing?
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I mean, yeah, that's fair enough. Like for me, like I like the ship stuff. Like I like the Assassin's Creed Black Flag, not for the story, but for the ship stuff specifically. You know what I mean? Like I'm into that. So like for me, it's like, and it's multiplayer as well. So I think that would be that caters to two things that I really like. So I think it will be big for them. I think that this is going to be, this might be a make or break thing for Rare, honestly. So we'll have to see how that goes, but I'm excited for it.
It is a make or break bid for Rare, to be honest with you, because let's be honest, this is their big comeback.
Yeah.
Look, it's got a lot of hype. It's got the money, right? Microsoft's putting the money behind it. So it's just a matter of does it perform and does it hit enough of the audience?
Yeah, absolutely. So
we do another voicemail.
Yeah, we've got I think 2 more left, right?
Yeah, we do have 2 more voicemails, and we got to do the Wheel of Wonder.
We've got our favorite Australian stick figure here.
Nice. Stick figure. It's always good to hear from him.
Good day, mate.
Hey, Mooch and Crap, it's Stick Figure from Australia. Just want to see what you think about this. With crossplay, do you think that Microsoft should introduce crossplay lobbies, especially on their first-party games? So a game like Gears of War, there's a cross-play multiplayer lobby where you can play competitive multiplayer against PC gamers. You know, if you've got PC gamer friends, you can play them in competitive multiplayer. But it's in a lobby that you choose to go into. I think this is something that Microsoft will introduce eventually to make crossplay more attractive and more versatile. Okay, guys, have a great show.
I think that they're having a problem with that because you can't have keyboard and mouse versus controller.
Right.
So I think that that's the problem. That's why Gears 4 can do co-op with PC and can do Horde with PC, but you can't do competitive because there's an unfair advantage.
Yeah, Mike Ibarra was on. I want to say it was one of the Tick podcasts that they have on their channel, and ways back now. It's over. I think it was last January, and he said something like, "We're well aware of what we have to do moving forward with combining the console and the PC ecosystems." He goes, "There's definitely something that's unfair there, and we're well aware of it." And they've done a really good job of supervising that crap.
Yeah, I think so as well. You know, I just think that you can't sour, you know, like you already had people worried about that. I seen people like tweeting the coalition like, are there competitive PC people? This guy's like owning me or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you got to be very careful with that. Like
absolutely,
that's their main thing is online stuff. So you cannot fuck that up. So Microsoft really can't fuck that up at all. And yeah, so I would not expect, unless it's something like, and even then that could be an advantage, like Halo Wars 2, that was going to be, you'd be able to cross-play, and then they said no.
Right.
So, yeah, like I think that, you know, unfortunately, and the whole thing with Windows, the Windows 10 store, like that's, like they're not, like Steam wouldn't even let the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare players play against the people from Windows. You know what I mean? So I think Windows has like a really tough sell ahead. That's why I wasn't really too worried about them like pushing the PC stuff right now, because I've seen it from them before. But if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. Like they could drop that at a drop of a hat, and who would really say anything? Because it doesn't look like many people are really into it.
No.
So
no, and Microsoft, and you see the executives trying to push it. They're like, "I'm playing this on Windows 10," and it's like,
and I'm not gonna watch it because it's Windows 10. I don't give a
Windows
shit
10,
about it.
we're not watching it. I think I think they're gonna find out that. Hey, listen, I don't blame them though, right? Crap, I don't blame them for trying to tap.
I don't either. That's fine. Like I'm fine with that. You know what I mean?
But
Like
I think what they're gonna find out is they can save 25% of cost or 10% of cost, whatever it is, to move it over there and just focus on the console.
Yeah.
It's just they're just not, you know, make your money on your Windows and let Steam people have to buy your OS, you know what I mean, to play their games. I don't know. For some reason, I just don't. I don't think the Windows Store is going to pick up on that, and I don't know why. They're giving great incentives. When you buy one, you get both. You can't really buy. You know, you can't beat that. But to be honest with you, I do think it'll be a 5-year span though, right? Crap. They don't just pull the plug.
They're not
after
just going to pull the plug. Yeah, I mean, they're going to wait and see how it goes. I mean, I would assume that we'll probably see how Halo does with it. You know, I mean, did it really help out Gears or Forza? I don't know.
What we're really going to find out in the very short term future is Sony may have hurt all this mid-gen console sales because, you know, with Sony putting out such a disaster with the PS4 Pro. You know, Scorpio is going to deliver. Trust me. You've got Bethesda, EA, all these top devs and publishers coming on E3 stage with Microsoft saying these guys are doing it right. So they're going to do it right, but Sony may leave such a bad taste in people's mouths.
That was my worry. I did that video last night. I'm like, don't be off put from the Scorpio because Sony half-assed the Pro.
Right.
Like Scorpio is going to be so much better than that, you know. And Microsoft
blow people away.
Yeah, Microsoft, they're ending the generation supposedly, which is a little bit odd. I'm curious to see how they handle that, just from like that perspective. Like, how are you going to do that? Because you know what? Like, there comes a point where there's a cutoff, and then you have a new console generation, and then the people on the old ones can't play the newer games, right? Like, there's still going to be cutoffs. There has to be.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, like, I'm curious to see how they handle it. Hopefully, they're taking all in what Sony's doing and can, like, avoid some of those mistakes. So, I'm very confident in what Microsoft's going to do. Just if you're, like, seeing what the PS4 Pro is doing or the lack of improvement, then don't worry, because I think Microsoft sees it too, and will make sure that what we get on there day one is going to be fucking fantastic.
Let me just tell this L Boogie guy, who's definitely a troll. Just so you know, but he goes, it's sad Scorpio could actually fail if devs don't code for it. First of all, L Boogie, understand this. Scorpio already will have Gears, Forza Horizon, Recore, everything that we play now running at a smooth 4K 60. Whereas the Pro can't even get their remaster of The Last of Us up to 60 frames in 1080p. So you already sound ridiculous, first of all. Second of all, you had Mr. Howard from Bethesda and other big company executives from developers and publishers coming out saying we're already working with Microsoft on Scorpio. So, Boogie, before you look ridiculous in the chat, I'm going to call you out and just say, why don't you go ahead and watch the Microsoft E3 again from this past year, and don't listen to the orchestra that Sony played. That put you to sleep, apparently. So.
Jay, do we got J-Dubs? Do we have one more?
So we've got one last. This is a return caller. He calls every week. This is Red.
Hey, Mooch and Crap, Red here. I have 2 questions for you. The first one is this. How many units of the PS4 Pro do you think will either be returned or traded in within the next couple weeks? The second question I have is this. Do you think The Last Guardian will be a big flop for Sony? I really love the show, guys. Keep up the good work.
Do I think The Last Guardian will be a flop? I think it's a flop today.
Yeah, I think it's a flop. I don't think that people are going to be very interested in that game. It's just, where's the market for what was supposed to be a PlayStation 3 game, 8 years ago? I don't know if that's real. I'm sure that it'll sell well. And here's the thing that's going to save that game. It'll do probably pretty good in Japan.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, but isn't that the fail-safe? I wish Microsoft had like another country that they could just be like, well, crap, I don't think it's going to do well on Xbox in the United States, but it's going to do really well in Guam. I mean, like, we don't have that fail-safe, or it's not going to do really well, but it'll do really good in Arkansas. I mean, just because they're from Japan, that doesn't mean that the Japanese have already kind of turned their back on the PlayStation 4. They didn't buy a lot of them. They're really supporting Nintendo's 3DS. They're probably really going to support the Switch. I don't think Sony has the pull in Japan like they used to. And the only reason they did what they did is, thanks to IGN, Kotaku, and Polygon. Thank you all. So Greg Miller and Colin, thanks so much, guys, for helping Sony, stay alive these 3 years. But unfortunately, Sony's ill will and lack of customer support, even you guys can't keep them afloat anymore. So
yeah. Hey, you know what? Like, it is what I don't think. Here's the problem: we're not going to really see. Oh, this is how many PS4 Pros they sold. Like, look, if they sold
you're not going to see anything.
Here's the thing: if they sold an amazing amount, they would have announced it, right? If they would have sold an amazing amount, they didn't. In fact, their stock dropped, which means that the people that have the stock knows that it didn't sell great. Like, it dropped the day of and the day after. So that means that it didn't do great. And the thing is they're going to consider it all PS4. So, so whatever the slim, that thing's DOA. That thing must be the worst idea, one of the worst ideas ever. So
right. No, I totally agree.
Complete terrible idea. That's probably why that thing didn't release earlier, because they got really outclassed by Microsoft. They really got surprised by the 4K Blu-ray player and stuff like that. So,
right.
Just unbelievable job by Microsoft there. And I can still remember Next Gen saying, who's going to buy an Xbox Slim? You know what I mean? And I was like, well, it could have some interesting features in there. And then there you go. Not only does it have interesting features, but it's got interesting features compared to the PS4 Pro, which is their souped up thing. I came across my feed this morning on Twitter. They're like, should you buy Sony's souped up super 4K console? And I just remember thinking, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
like, really?
Well, that's what they got to do. Now you're going to see all these what do you call it there? These kind of subliminal hits coming from like the big companies, because you have Digital Foundries that came out and bashed the Pro right initially, and now they're like, oh, join us today. Well, I hate the guy that does those videos. Oh my God, I can't stand him. And he's just got that voice where he's like, today we're going to break apart this game, and as you can see, the Pro actually shines. And it's like, Why are you now saying this when you just said 2 days ago that it couldn't hold its own weight in a 1080p 60 frames on a game that's 4 years old? So I don't know. You're gonna see a lot of the ridiculousness kind of filter through, and eventually you're gonna start seeing them be like, "This is so great. This is so great." Anything that is good on the Pro, they'll boost, and you won't hear about what it can't do. You only hear about what it can do. Just just really, you have to be careful as a consumer that you're not gonna buy the Pro without knowing what you're getting. Make sure the game you want to play has the features that you want on it, because not every game comes with what you're seeing online.
Yeah. And the PS4 Pro doesn't even do a little Mo. Just saying.
No, it really doesn't.
Yeah. So should we do the wheel of?
Let's do it. Let's do that wheel.
Yeah, phone lines are closed.
Yes.
So we're going to bring up the wheel. Let's make sure I've got everything in order here. Can everyone see the beautiful Wheel of Wonder?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so here we go. What is the prize again, Crap?
It's gonna be a complete digital download of Assassin's Creed Unity.
Awesome. Okay, away we go. Robbie Pablo.
Awesome.
Robbie.
Fantastic. Robbie, congratulations, buddy.
Congratulations.
Also thought he had one of the most killer call-ins too. Very cool.
Yeah, he did. Everybody did a really good job. And yeah, next week, just so you guys know, I'll already start hyping this shit up, is we will have a full year of Xbox Live up for grabs. So what you have to do is call in, leave the voice message, and once you do that, you get entered to do the Wheel of Wonder, and then you could win just like Robbie Pablo. In fact, we're going to go all out. We'll have a bunch of stuff to give away next week. I guarantee it. So
yeah, there's going to be even more than that. But yeah, that is good for everyone to know. I mean, a year of Xbox Live, we've given away 3 or 4 of those now, and we've only had 10 episodes. Just that alone, not to mention all the games. What we want to let everybody know is that we're really grateful for what everyone does in the community on this show by calling in. We want to just make sure that everybody knows we're so grateful. We're trying to give back every single episode. So
yeah, absolutely. So really good to hear from you guys again. We're also going to be on iTunes very soon, so hopefully you guys will like that.
Hopefully this week. I'm excited about that myself.
Yeah, me too. Like I'm interested to see it's a different. Maybe it'll be a different. We'll get some audience from that too. You know what I mean?
I think we're going to get some new people that are just iTunes people. They like to just play it, not have their phone and a video running all the time. They can go on a run. I mean, shout out to Matty Beast. He listens to most of our shows. While he takes that guy runs 8, 10, 12-mile runs.
Jesus, yeah.
God bless him, man.
I go for about 8 to 12 feet.
Yeah, I like to think I'm in okay shape, and I just raked my lawn yesterday. I was like, I got to sit down.
I'm on track. So
I'm on track.
I'm on track.
So,
dude, that's what you should start saying. Whenever somebody asks you something and it's not good, just be like, it's on track.
I'm going to use it. I'll use it tomorrow at work when I got a report to it. Like, it's on track.
It's on track, yes.
Boss. Don't worry.
I just wanted to pipe in for a second here. If Doc Cupcake is listening, I'm going to need his assistance. He's been helping me out with the whole iTunes thing, and I've been having some troubles. I'm sure that he's probably run into some of the same issues. And if he's listening, I'm asking for your help, buddy. So send me a message, and we can maybe have a quick chat. Doing all this stuff behind the scenes is a lot of work, and we get a lot of criticism from people on Twitter and people in the messages saying that we're not real gamers and stuff like that. Well, I don't know about you guys, but for myself, I consider myself a real gamer. I've been playing games since the 70s. I've got 2 jobs. I've got 2 pets. I've got 2 cats. I've got 2 cats and a dog. I've got a wife. I've got a car. I've got a house. I've got to maintain all this stuff on top of all this other stuff that I do for the YouTube community. Gaming is something that I love to do, and I'm sure all you guys do too. But I think people have heard me say this before, that gaming is not my life, it's how I live. So just take that into consideration when you guys go and try to criticize us all for not being real gamers. If we weren't real gamers and we weren't that focused on the community and what we can give to them, why would Phil Spencer be wearing our shirts? Why would they be making comments on Twitter about what we do? We play a really crucial role, and I think people should take that into consideration.
You know, yeah, like here's the thing, Jay. Like I always, when people say that, which I don't really see that often, but I guess it's like, to me, it's always funny when I see that where they're like, oh, well, Crap's not a real gamer or this not a real gamer. I'm like, man, like what classifies a real gamer? Because I own every console, I game on everything. I'm mostly Xbox, but you know, I own all of them. I have 120, almost 122,000 gamer score. I've been averaging, you know what I mean? I've there's not really much more you can do. I've beaten this just so far this holiday. I've beaten Infinite Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Remaster, Gears of War 4. You know what I mean? I've been playing. I'm almost done with Mafia 3. Like, there's not really much more that I can do, or you know what I mean. And here's the funny thing: even if I were to sit there and go, here's all the achievements for the games that I did, here's all this, lay it out, then you know what the argument would change to from I'm not a real gamer to I'm a no-life or a social reject or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's really no real answer. The
You
best thing
can't
to do is
win.
just kind of just ignore it. That's what I do anyway. It's like I ignore that shit because at the end of the day, there's no pleasing the haters, you know?
That's right. I say to people all the time, you ever want to get a hold of me on Twitter, because I don't read the comments section on any video or any podcast I do, because to be honest with you, that's just a cesspool of ignorance. So it's to me personally, you want to get a hold of me on Twitter, because on Twitter, I know that it's the true, or to get a hold of me on Xbox Live, because that's where the true fans are at. That's the true people I want to talk to, because people that I don't, I've already blocked.
Yeah, here's the thing. People are always like, well, Crap doesn't even go in his comments anymore. I'm like, look, the comments are a cesspool. I let the trolls go back and forth with each other. That's fine. If there's an Xbox fans that really want to talk to me, Twitter, I will always respond on there because I got my phone. You know what I mean? It's like super easy to do that. Or Xbox Live, I try to answer to all that. You know what I mean? Or the Facebook page. Those are the ways to really get a hold of me. You know, leaving some comments. Like, if you read my comment sections, you'll know why I don't go there, because it's just really a cesspool of nonsense, realistically. So, but hey, people have fun with that. You know, some people like that stuff. They go back and forth, and hey, good for you. For me, hey, it's not really for me. I do this stuff for fun. It's all about gaming and things like that. So I try to keep the gaming. And as much as people want to hate on us, I've never done a single video about another YouTuber. I've never did any, and it would be easy enough. You trust me, it would be easy enough. But I just want to keep it gaming, and I want to have fun with. Like, this show is fun. People call in. We're having a good time. Yeah, that's what it's all about to me. You know,
I don't throw up anymore either.
Yeah, exactly. So you got that. You know what I mean? And yeah, Jay does a great job. If you guys want some graphics or buy some shirts and stuff too, man, we got a bunch of or a mug. Buy a mug.
Buy a mug, you know, mooch and crap on them. We're nothing like enjoying the show while you're actually looking at our mugs on the mug. You know, it's a good time. Hey, you know, to be honest with you, Crap, I'll tell you, the e-begging thing you do, it does work. I got to say, please do. You're on the channel right now. Subscribe to my channel. You know, show us that you really give a crap. The subs really do mean a lot. Not only that, but I just mentioned early on about Crossfire Podcast is my club on Xbox Live. Crap, I shit you not. I shit you not, because I didn't shut the notifications off. I've got about 25 or 30 that came in during the show. So I accept everybody. You know, definitely subscribe to the channel. I mean, you know, Crap's been saying this for a long time, and I don't do a lot of daily content on the show. I do podcasts and now MNC mornings on the channel. So I don't say it enough, but I would like to see that, you know, I get a lot of comments, I get a lot of views, but I would like to see the subscribers build up, because what that does is it encourages me to get going and doing a little bit more of a daily content kind of show.
I could tell you, sometimes you drag ass with the content, right? You're like, I don't know, people don't, do they really care?
They do.
And and then when they like it and they share it and they, you know, they send you a message, like, I got people like Mr. Zombie Killer's like, great new video, because my video dropped at 1. Right. Which that wasn't sabotaged, by the way, because we're supposed to be over.
That's right. That's right.
But so 1 o'clock is perfectly fine for me to do that. Yeah. And so he's like, good video. Like, that's good to hear. Like, I like to hear that stuff. Like, you know, like lately I've mentioned that. I was like, you know what? It would be nice to hear, hey, good job. Like hearing the content, and I've been getting so many messages that are just like, "Hey, that's good" or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I like that. That's cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, I mean, hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel, it really does. Whether you like us or hate us, if you tune in, it is a big deal, and it lets us know. We get your reaction that way. We know if you care about this content.
Yeah.
We do spend. I mean, geez, Crap's got to be putting in. I'm guesstimating he's putting in around 12 hours a week. I'm doing between 8 and 10 on podcasts. I mean, to be honest with you, we really enjoy it, but by doing that, it is a way for us to get some feedback. So and you know, the other thing is, I don't want to end this show without myself. I'm going to speak for Crap here, but I'm sure Crap's going to want to intervene. I want to do a huge thank you to Jay Williams. I know he likes to go by J Dubs, but Jay Williams at the Graphic God. This show doesn't exist without Jay Williams. So let me just tell you something. We are the three amigos on this show, and every single one of us is an equal third. It just goes to show that the three of us came together. Great idea. Definitely getting a lot of fan feedback. That's awesome. And Jay's the one who keeps bringing some great insight and new stuff to the show every week.
People really like that Sonic and Tails thing that he made.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
He's wearing it as a shirt right now too, which is great.
Yeah, so I love that. That should be a shirt. Is that a shirt, Jay?
Soon. I'll make it a shirt.
Okay,
Jay's
awesome.
like, tonight it will be.
So, yeah. So if you want to rack up that the ending, we'll go ahead and go rack that up, and we'll just talk.
We'll get that started.
He's
got us on studio
today.
The
luckiest man on the face of the planet.
I love it.
So and we'll catch you guys later. Don't forget to call in. A year of Xbox Live next week. Call in. Let's get 20 calls for the wheel of wonder. Rack them up.
Enjoy your Sunday.